Praise the Lord, beloved of the Most High God, in the mighty name of King Jesus. Praise the Lord, beloved of the Most High God, in the mighty... Oops, forgot to turn off my other monitor here, the sound. Please forgive me. All of this is a labor of love because I'm trying to remember how to do it. Since it's been several months now, the last live stream we did was We're Still Here, and that was with Jordan and Ray Ray and Mr. Tyler. I would say Mr. shall remain nameless, but then you wouldn't know who I was talking about in most cases. So thank you for joining me if you're listening out there. Some of you told me you wanted to come in and listen, but you have prior engagements, so you know who you are if you're listening on the replay. Thank you for your time. These last several months of my life have been very, very challenging, but a blessing at the same time. My TV monitor is going wacko right now for some strange reason. Pay all that money for the internet streaming. I hope I'm not lagging out there if there's anybody. Looks like it's just me talking to the ear. Well, I'll just preach to the ear. Jesus is good and never run out of things to say about him. But I couldn't sleep, so I said, I'll get up and do something. And then I started thinking, and I said, well, why don't I just do a live stream? Since I couldn't sleep anyway. Shout out whoever came in. I don't see you in the comments section. If you want to leave a hello, I'll give you a shout out for your channel name. Thank you for joining me. And so I said, well, Lord, what would you have me talk about? Because I don't know. Oh, there's Ray Ray. Let me pop it up here if I can remember how to do it. There you go. Oh, good old Ray Ray. You never forget her name. Because she repeats it a lot. Ray Ray. That one would drive Jordan bananas. He wouldn't think it was funny. I do. Hi, Ray Ray. How you doing? Where's Dominodo? Yes, I just changed your cat name. Is it a he or a she? I keep forgetting. Because Domino is kind of gender neutral. It's not gender specific. Did you fall asleep, Ray Ray? You didn't. She didn't run and respond. She just was like this. No, I wanted an answer. I wanted an actual answer. um, Celine. I didn't even have to send Celine an email. So that means she has her notifications turned on. I hope you're not doing that OCD thing and just constantly checking what your subscriptions are. Good morning, Celine. Celine, excuse me. I'll just change your name with a slur. Sorry, Celine. Hope all is well with you, girl. Okay. So we got Celine, got Ray Ray, and see, you're doing it to me with this channel name. Come on. Y'all got to come up with some simpler names. Don't make me work for it. Key loves 7605. Who do you love, Kiki? Who do you love? Praise the Lord. I know it's Jesus. Who else? Just everybody, huh? I don't know. I'm just saying. So now we got those. I gotta get these things off of here. I don't forgot what I'm doing here. But thank you for joining me. Oh, she's a she. But Domino is like a male name though, isn't it? Oh, Sierra. You've been listening to me to a lot of my stuff. Oh, that's great. That is so great. I'm gonna put that up so you can see I'm not making it up. Jordan always thinks when people give me compliments of any sort that it's made up. It's not made up. I'm putting the proof up there. He's still probably sound asleep, by the way. I wasn't doing a stream with all of us, so it's okay. But he's the only one that hasn't texted me this morning. Ray texted me. Deanne Loper, shout out to her. She texted me. Um, my friend, the writer. Why did I just forget her name? Jocelyn Anderson. By the way, if you haven't checked out her new book, you should go get the book. Just look it up on Amazon. I don't remember. I didn't know I was going to talk about it. So my monitor, this that's why I got me another monitor because this one is totally bogus. It goes buck wild crazy. My what is this 55-inch TV? It is the stream is just blurred and it doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be blurred. It should be crystal clear, and yet it's fuzzy. It's fuzzy math like the government be doing. She said I was laughing. This is Celine. She says I was laughing listening to your stream. You did years ago back about men, and there was this one guy I was talking. He said he only had a daughter and he was he had multiple children. Yeah, there's people that's deceivers out in this world. You got to be careful. But at least you look deep before you leave, because you found out. So you probably dropped him like a bad habit, in which case, good for you. Somebody in the background found out listening to a friend. Must have had it on speakerphone, right? When you told him the story about the guy who had all these children, and his friend, she said her friend had it on speakerphone, heard her tell him, "Oh, I hate this third party stuff," and he said, "Oh, hell no." See, there's guys out there. There's good guys out there, y'all. We know there's none good but God, but there's men out there that ain't into that. They not down with it. They'll be ride or die. They'll jump, put their sneakers on, get in the car, and go say, "I'll fight for my friend." You ain't got no business messing with her. You got all them kids. And I'm presuming these are probably Christians, right, Celine? They're like, "Oh, no, nah, no, just hell no." Okay, I'm going to switch to a different device here and see if this one will play it so I can read it in big letters, because I'm straining reading off these little cell phone screens. They can't make them big enough for me to tell you. I was trying to figure out if I could get a phablet. Do y'all remember that? Hey Jay, Jay just came in. I'm not clicking it, Jay. I'm struggling just holding this together to keep the sound going and the mic going and read people's comments. Jay Sure just came in. But Jay, you can tell me, you got Jay Sure at Jay Sure 8786. You're making this difficult for me. I thought your channel name was just Jay Sure. And I don't mean just Jay Sure, but that it was just Jay and then Sure. What happened? Did YouTube mess you up again? No, they messed up a lot of people. I know they messed me up. Got me in Shadowban world. I tried to. StreamYard has this thing where you can just automatically apply you click this link and you can apply to be monetized. Now, I'm not really interested in that for one reason. The main reason is that they'll monetize you and put horror commercials. This is a Christian channel or some old vulgar, nasty stuff or something disgusting, and then that commercial gonna play in the middle of your stream. I'm like, no, 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 hell no, that's not appropriate. So you have no idea. This is Jay responding. Lisa, I have no idea what happened. YouTube changed it. Really? There must have been too many people with just Jay Shore. Jesus Shore. You should have put Jesus Shore, then they really would have blocked you. You ever notice it? You ever notice that for some reason the Christian channel names got to have all this weird stuff added to it? I dared them to mess with mine. I was like, I'm gonna come up with something. And they came in. I know nobody had, Lisa. Like if I tried to just do Lisa or even Miss Lisa as a channel name, it would have been Miss Lisa 4892-605 ABCD XYZ. And I was like, I don't want the stupid, even though nobody could remember it. So I was like, no, I got one. And I put forth the Most High Jesus, and it was like, yep, you can use it. And I've been a terror for them ever since. I'm still in Shadowban world. They will not let me monetize the channel. Every time I get ready to hit that threshold for monetizing, where you can like do your own stuff, all kind of benefits that they give bennies, not drugs, bennies is short for benefits. They changed the rules. I was telling Jordan about it just a couple of weeks ago. I said, "Did you notice that?" He said, "Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed it." I'm like, "What? How in the heck am I gonna get in Shadowban world 2 or 3 million? Is it? I can't remember the number. It's ridiculous. Whatever number people to watch my shorts. I'm in Shadowban world. How am I gonna get 3 million views?" So I was just like, I'll get my own monetization. Any anybody want to buy me a cup of coffee? I'm still working on that. And I'll pop it up on the thing. I'll put a logo in the background. Click this link and just, you know, buy. I'm still working on. I want to do my t-shirts and my hats and stuff. But I got so many ideas. I don't know what to start with because I want to put Jesus slogans on there. I did a jacket like that with the channel name, praising the Lord with none of them funny bunny names. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I'm never gonna get off of that. Never, never, never will I ever. Jesus Christ is Lord. But what I'm really gonna talk about on here, and then I'm gonna bring my friends back in a week or two when they finally are able to all meet at the same time. We can agree on a time. We're gonna talk about medical PTSD, and we're gonna talk about it in a way ain't nobody else ever talked about it. Because we're going to be coming at it and giving the Lord praise for what he did getting us through. I know my friend Ray Ray's still going through it. And Jay has her issues. We found out about some of these setups where they try to set you up through your ignorance. I'll talk about it a little bit, just a smidge. Where because you don't know, these doctors and such will take advantage of you. You know, the Bible warns about that. That our ignorance can be used against us as a weapon. And we can't possibly know everything, but thank the Lord for his powerful Holy Spirit that'll come in and be like, don't do it. You don't even know why. He just said, don't do it. Still small voice of the Holy Spirit. Don't do that. Just don't do it. And you don't know why. When you tell a doctor, I don't care how many credentials and PhDs and whatever they get, doctorates, whatever they get, whatever their degree is, doctor so-and-so, I don't care if you're number one in the country. My Lord is telling me no. And they'll look at you crazy. They'll look at you like, oh, now we got to get him a psych evaluation. Yes, that's a thing in the medical world. Do y'all think, yeah, I said y'all. Do you all, and I know it's a ton of white people out there use that. They was doing that all over the news. I think I saw the president say y'all. And he wasn't being racial. They got memes with him doing it anyway. So did y'all know that if you're not prayerful and careful, you can get taken advantage of in many different things in life? I mean, down from a little small thing like a paperclip all the way up to the greatest thing on earth. They mess with everybody with this stuff. And when I say they, I'm talking about them others, them and others, them fallen ones, because they inspire all this wickedness in the earth. They're our enemies. Oh, Jay, oh thank God. See, I switched to another platform for my big screen here, and now I can read it. Jay says the DRSs have words. Oh yeah, that's that medical thing, right? That book they use when talking. Pay close attention to them. Just because they're DRs, they don't need to know all of your business. That's right. Show you right on that one. Let me post that. I want y'all to see it so it'll be on the live stream. I can't remember the name of that book. That DRS stands for a longer name, and I ain't mad at you for using that. But they do. They'll post that, and believe it or not, remember we talked about this in one of our streams a while back. My friends get amnesia, they don't remember, but I do, thank the Lord, by his grace. That this is an occult practice, initialism, to go back to small, like slogan words, or you know what I'm trying to say, even if I ain't saying it, where they abbreviate, that's the word I was looking for, abbreviate things. And when they do, it's to hide from us what's really going on. Now, Celine, now please explain that statement. Now you put that out there. I didn't ask you to put that up there. I was on birth control, not for sex, but for my monthly, to control it more. And I did some research on my own. And let me just say I'm glad I'm off of. Well, me too. Hashtag, y'all giving me too much ammunition tonight. Oh, excuse me, this morning. Well, good night and good morning. I'll figure it out one day. Y'all giving me too much ammunition. You're glad you're off of it. Well, you weren't never supposed to be on it, in my never to be humble opinion, because those side effects, we talked about that before too. Those side effects are direct effects. I ain't scared to say it. I ain't scared. They're direct effects. If you take that drug that you're gonna get, and some of them, if you read the mice type, and they hoping you don't read it, is up to and including death. Now I was just thinking about this one the other day, and this one they don't never tell you about. I learned this one years ago, and I don't even remember what it was a doctor that told it, and I think it was on television. The doctor talked about Steven Johnson's syndrome. So I'm gonna do SJS. Had to think about that one. SJS, Steven Johnson syndrome. And that's where you take a drug. It could be the first time, it could be the 10th time, it could be the 100th time, or the 1,000th time. They don't know when it'll happen to you. You take it and your body catches fire, and you get first, second, third degree burns all over your body from your body having a reaction to the drug. And they don't tell people about it. And I saw a news report where they covered it. The person was bandaged from head to toe like they had been in a fire. And I'm like, oh my God. This is what I'm talking about, how We don't receive informed consent because they know, first of all, the list is too long. In fairness to the medical profession, they can't cover everything. Maybe it's 1,000 different reactions that could happen, right? They can't possibly sit there and go through every patient when they only get 17 minutes. I found out from a doctor. They only get 17 minutes to spend time with you. Otherwise, you have to book a second appointment. Yes, that's the thing that actually happened to me recently. I had an appointment with a specialist. He's like number 3 in the country for a particular condition I was dealing with. And I went in and saw him. He was a very nice man. And I said, "Why do I have to book 2 appointments?" "Well, we're gonna draw blood and we're gonna do your blood pressure." And mind you, the doctor's not doing any of that. That's all the staff. And then by the time that stops, we would be out of the 1 hour allotted. So we got to book you a second appointment. I'm not making this up. This actually happened. So I said, "Okay, I got a witness. I got a witness. This actually happened." And he couldn't have been nice enough, and he let me ask whatever questions I wanted to ask, but he's still looking at his watch because he got to get to the next patient. By the way, my mother has a joke about that. Shout out, Mom. Shout out to you. She's on her way to work today. 79 years old, still working. And I ain't talking about behind a desk with air conditioning and, her frap camelate bourgeoisie drink on the desk. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying people don't work that do that. Don't misunderstand me, but that's not the kind of job she has. She works hard for the money, breaking a sweat kind of hard, right? 79. Thank the Lord Jesus. When I got sick, she sat with me every single day for several hours. I ain't talking about 15 minutes and left. Get out of here. I want to be like her when I grow up. Yeah, the doctors, many of them lie about a lot of things. And when I was asking all kind of questions, and that's how you get at the truth, by the way. Ask and ye shall receive. They will look funny at you, but many of them will tell you the truth. Or they'll say, "I can't answer that, but I can tell you where to look for the answer." Like that'll work too. Some of them they would just check me and do their evaluation, and they wouldn't say anything. But I would ask pointed questions. Some of them would give me answers, and some of them wouldn't. And I had to fire one doctor. Gosh, did you know you can fire your doctor? They don't want you to know that. How many doctors are in? They went through the medical profession. They're in the profession now. They're practicing, whether private or for a big company. And then you have the ones in med school. What is it, 10 million doctors now? I can fire you and get another one. And I don't even need Medicare's permission. Shout out to all the hardworking people at Medicare. They trying to destroy these programs that are beneficial. Now, in fairness to the medical profession, there are things that they do that are life saving. They saved my life. Well, technically speaking, only Jesus saves a life, but they brought me back from the edge of death. They brought this body back by doing the right things because they actually had done something wrong unbeknownst to them. They didn't know I was allergic to that blue dye, that contrast dye that they put in people for various tests. That's why I don't trust that methylene blue stuff. But anyway, that's my opinion. Something special, something. Now, come on. If somebody showed up at your front door, whether it was with a clipboard because they're doing door-to-door sales or a family member, and they were blue. I'm not talking about down. I'm not talking about sad and depressed. I'm talking about the color blue, like the color purple. If they were blue, would you let them in? Did you open that front door and be like, "Billy Joe, Billy Bob, whatever your name is, Cindy, what happened to you?" Come listen to me, y'all. When we was kids, we used to drink those Slurpees, slushies, the ices, and they had the blue one, right? And your tongue would turn blue. Your teeth would get blue. Sometimes the inside of your mouth. If you spilt it and you got it on your fingers would get a little blue. And none of us ever wanted. We think it's funny. You'd be mad if you spilt it because it was sticky as hell and you had to clean that crap up. I mean, people be drinking that. You ever wonder, do you ever stop and think, wait a minute, if it's all sticky like that on the table and blue, what's it doing to the inside of my body? I'm drinking it. Spilling on your shirt. I don't think you could even get it out of your shirt with club soda. If we be sipping and drinking that shit, we must be crazy. They had people going buck wild crazy just recently in the news report I just saw where they were drinking stuff. That's why I say I don't even need a script. I don't need to plan nothing. Just watch the news or social media for a week. You got all you need to talk about forever. Out here in California, in Cali, help me, Lord. Oh, there was a song called Cali. Some of y'all know it. I'm going back to Cali. Kali is a false god. But anyway, who knew? I think they knew. These people, and I'm talking about 20-year-olds, 20 somethings, some teenagers that weren't even 18, elderly people, people with people in wheelchairs, people with limbs missing. I'm not making it up. It was on the news. Out here in California, I think it was one of these beach areas, and it was a theater, the Opus something, one of these grand theaters down there in Hollywood area, Beverly Hills area out there was a theater, and they were taking balloons with the helium, the nitrous oxide, and he said, "Well, it's not illegal to do," and they were puffing it, taking it, putting it in their mouth, and inhaling it, and then breathing it out and acting fools. And the police couldn't do nothing because it wasn't illegal. And the news showed it. I think it was eyewitness news. I think they showed it. They didn't actually show somebody close up because the people would get mad. They didn't want to be on camera. I'm like, well, why are you upset? Okay, for example, when they legalized marijuana out here, you can freaking pull out the joint, light it, and smoke it on camera. Don't matter. It's legal. Now you can't do it in a restaurant. You can't do it in a hospital, right? I don't know. California's weird. They might got someplace somewhere, but technically you can't be, but because it's for medical use now. And I said they need to let all them people out of jail that they put in jail if they didn't do no violence for smoking it and selling it and growing their own. That ain't right. That ain't right. But anyway, and they was puffing this stuff, and I'm going, if it's not illegal, why they getting mad? Because that stuff is making them angry. They're gonna have a rave. See, this is why God say don't do this stuff and warns about sorcery or pharmakia in the last days, which is where we are. Sorcery, pharmakia, and there's the illegal ones, and then there's the legal ones. I'll let you figure out which is which, or which one might be coming from or which. That's true. The nurses and the nurses' aides, Celine is saying, do most of the work in a hospital. Now we back on the hospitals. Yeah, that's true. My experience. And then they also have volunteers. Them volunteers be doing all kind of work too. Nice trick if you can get people to work for free, isn't it? Be breaking a sweat. They're usually geriatric, but they could beat me, man. I was like, what the? How old are you? Oh, I'm 97. Young. Well, good for you with your little powder blue jacket and your silver hair. I'm not mad. Hope that's me one day. But they gonna have a hard time convincing me to work for free. I'm sorry. Not sorry. That's why I think they got money. They're either bored or they got money or same thing, right? If you got money, you're bored, and if you're bored, you got money. What? Because why would you work for free? Somebody help me. Y'all put it in the comments. If I see it, I'll read it. Why would you work for free? A workman is worthy of his hire. Bible says so. You can always opt to do something for free. That's given shall be given. There's a promise. Maybe that's why they're doing it. They know if they work that and they do these things for free to help people and assist people that they're going to be blessed for it. Maybe that's it. I don't know. She makes 50,000. That's Celine. That's cheap. Hold on one second. I don't know what state you're in, but it kind of depends because 50,000 in another state that doesn't have as high prices. The gasoline's only $2 a gallon. The milk is only $2.50 a gallon. That's a lot of money. 50,000 is a lot of money. If they can buy a house for $100,000, that's a lot of money. They can pay off their house in 2 years. They save their money. Well, maybe 3. You gotta leave. You gotta live. You gotta eat. But that's not a lot of money in California. 50,000. You would just be rent poor out here. 50,000 in most places out here is higher than a kite. But that's good money in some places. Celine, I love Celine. My lips are ashy. I need some Vaseline. Listen, that was rhyming, by the way. Somebody becoming a rapper. 47-year-old rapper. Go ahead. Or not. Vaseline is a petrochemical. Just don't lick your lips. I don't think they use that stuff internally. So it is said by those much wiser than me that if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. But I found out, I heard it through the grapevine. I didn't know grapes could talk, but I heard it through the grapevine that a B2, vitamin B2 deficiency is what causes chapped lips. I get that really bad, especially in the summertime. My aunt was reminding me, she said, that happens to you every year. I'm like, look, God didn't make us to have no chapped lips. It's too painful, especially if they bleed and stuff. I'm like, oh, no, no. There's got to be an answer. So eating meat, which has B2, and I'm not carnivore and all that stuff. I'm not saying any particular diet. What I'm saying is the B2 is found in meat. You can look it up. Where would I get B2, vitamin B2 naturally? And if you get enough in your body, you won't have chapped lips. Just so you know. But you can keep using Vaseline if you want to. Okay, that's right. Just because it's legal don't mean it's not evil. That was the title of one of my videos, wasn't it, Celine? Just because it's lawful don't mean it's legal. And just because it's legal don't mean it's lawful. When it comes to the things of God, I've heard that that's true, Jay Sure, that some people just don't want to pay bills and that's why they're out on the street. I saw a guy. It's so funny you say that because just yesterday when I was out looking for a new place to stay so I don't end up homeless, whole story behind that, not going into it now. They had a nice blanket. It wasn't no holy, raggedy spills on it or nothing. It was a blanket draped over the head. They was laying across the grass under a shade tree, pulled it up over the head, sleep. And I said, I can't see if it was male or female. I don't know. But they was chilling. Nobody was nobody was bothering. Nobody came and ran them off, leave them alone. No police, no popo. And I said, I wonder if they just sitting there to chill because it's so friggin' hot, or or are they homeless? I wasn't gonna go ask them. They was trying to sleep. I only bother my friends when they trying to sleep. Ain't that right, Ray Ray and Jay Shore and Jordan and who else? Deanne Loper had to tell me if I ever woke her up, sending her a text. Jocelyn probably rolled her eyes at me a couple of times, sending texts in the middle of the night. Everybody who works should be given a livable way. I agree with that. But define livable. Because in California, it's expensive out here. That's why they ended up raising the minimum wage for some, not all, you jackasses. Some, they raised it to $20 an hour down in LA County. I don't know what it is out here. I haven't asked anybody. A lot of people won't tell you. But I'll be like, are y'all getting $20 an hour? Because I couldn't get $20 an hour when I drove a truck. Pissed me off. Couldn't get $20 an hour. Actually, I made it one time and then the company took it back because they fired everybody. So the union, we couldn't have union wages and union representation. Yeah, they did it. I still remember the name of the company. They were on crack. Another company did the same thing. We were making good money, doing really well. And then the corporation got taken over and they did that private equity garbage. Remember, a corporation's only responsibility is to make money for its shareholders. So they started ripping us off, stealing our wages back, taking away everything, took away the PTO hours, paid time off. Tried to mess with the sick time, but the state of California said, mm-mm, mm-mm. Then we had some other time we would get earned time off on top of it. There was all kind of perks. We would get gift cards to go use in the store. Toys R Us. I used to work for them. I don't care. I ain't scared to say it. They did a movie called The Roof Man. Roof. Is that how you spell roof? If a dog goes roof roof? I don't know. Anyway, in that movie, he plays a criminal that's a thief that goes in and breaks into of all places, Toys R Us. I said, I got to see this movie because I got to see if they did all the logos and the way the Toys R Us did their aisles and the uniforms. All of that was a thing. And believe it or not, Hollywood, which don't get much right, got that right. I couldn't believe it. It was like going back in time in a time machine. Like, boop, boop, beam me to Toys R Us. And I was there watching the movie and I'm going, this is incredible. They had the Jeffrey logos on the wall. They had the toy aisles the way that they used to do it. They even had the weirdo that get on the speaker and go, thank you for visiting Toys R Us, but we're about to close in 10 minutes. I think they would start that about 15 minutes before they close. We'll be here tomorrow if you want to come back. I'm not making it up. Go watch the movie. It's free on some platforms if you already have a subscription to the platform. Can't remember which, go find it. And for those of you who know how to get those movies for free, FREE, do your thing. God is your judge. Okay. That's why my phone's on silent. Otherwise, you'd be getting. See, I knew Ray Ray wasn't really a friend. She's a fair weather friend. She ain't gonna stick with me when things are tough and I'm going through in the middle of the night. She gonna have it on mute so I can't even reach her. What kind of Christian are you? You're a Cino, a Christian in name only. Blocked. Wait a minute, let me get my phone. Took care of it. Celine is now. Ooh, I'm sorry, not Celine. Ray Ray is now blocked. Jay, what are you agreeing with Celine on? Oh, everybody who works should be given a living wage. What's the matter, Jay? You not happy where you at? You know, godly contentment is in the Bible. I'm just messing with you, Jay. I guess we all want a little bit more. A little bit more don't hurt. If I have more, I probably just end up eating the wrong things. A little extra cheesecake or something. No, I don't even know what I would do with it because I've been working on that whole can I outbeat God's giving? And I can't. I cannot outbeat his giving. I tried. Try it. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. Well, man, give unto your bosom. That's what he promised. And when God promises something, it's a guarantee, like, oh, eternal security. Oh, y'all, please go find everybody that you can think of that hates once saved, always saved. and give them the link to this video or any of my others. I ain't scared. I will fight them to my dying day. To my dying day on eternal security. Ray Ray. She goes, yeah, right. You'll be texting me later. I know. Just because you block somebody doesn't mean you can't unblock them. Doesn't mean I didn't block you, Ray Ray. There, she said it. Some friend. Anyway, I'd at least tell you that I blocked you. She was just gonna block me and not say anything. Where was I? Oh, the living wage thing. Livable. Oh, you just Googled it. Don't act like you're intelligent, Celine. Afford afford to rent and can live in a safe, clean area. We shouldn't have to make six figures. Why not? See, what you got against six figures and keeping your head above water? What? See, I don't understand that, Celine. Here, I'm gonna put it up. She said it. I'm calling her out. What is wrong with being able to afford your rent and have six figures and all that and be livable? Some people don't like to swim. So, it just depends. Aren't depends a thing too? Okay, never mind. I don't want to go there. No, but I understand what you guys are saying about the livable wage thing. The government's greedy. Okay. You really want to get astonished? You really want to get astonished? Go pull out your paycheck stub, whether you have to download it or you got a physical paycheck stub. Is that even a thing anymore? And look at it and see all the taxes that they take out. And then think about all the taxes that are in society. The tax you pay on gas, the tax you pay for food, certain foods, the tax you pay for this, the tax you pay for that, the tax you pay on clothes. The government is double, triple, quadruple dipping. That's why we don't have no money. Say it loud. I'm poor and I'm proud because of the government. I don't know. Should have been a rapper. I could have made $1 billion by now. But then the government would have took half. Oh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? The only place you ain't gonna get taxed is heaven. Now you know why I'm a believer. I'm a believer. Wasn't that a hold on? Was it the Beach Boys or was it the mother British folk? What's their names? The one with Ringo and all the other Ringos. Paul McCartney and all. What was them? The Beatles. I know they were British, but was the Beach Boys British? Well, they were supposed to be American, but some of them seemed like they had a British accent. I ain't hating on British folk. They got to get saved too. Everybody, everybody got to get saved. Everybody got to get saved. Yes, Celine, you were slow. The Beatles. Oh, the monkeys. Oh, Jocelyn just popped in here. Jocelyn, you're dating yourself because the monkeys, they were British, and that's a super old group, girl. Now, I only know about it because I used to watch their TV show on TV. Yes, that was a thing. Hey, hey, we're the monkeys. Now, you would think somebody would have a problem calling themselves a monkey. See, black folk, you better not call them a monkey. You'll start a war like they got over there going right now, somewhere in the earth. You call a black person a monkey, we gonna be fighting. Here, white people volunteering. I love y'all. Here's white people volunteering. Hey, we're a monkey. And they made millions calling themselves a monkey. Women had posters of them on the wall, and they weren't even looking like monkeys. I remember the one with. Did they do the Yellow Submarine? Was that them? I think it was. Anyway, you can do the stupidest crap long before there was social media. The way we know it now, it's always existed. The town square, the town crier, the court jester, it's always been there. Remember, the Bible says ain't nothing new under the sun. Oh, and shout out to you for joining me, by the way, Jocelyn. Are you drinking your caramel? It's not a frap. What is it? Salted caramel hot chocolate. I'm just curious. I'm betting money that you drink it all and it's all gone already. I don't think that salted chocolate caramel or however it is safe in Jocelyn's house any time of the day or night. That it doesn't last long. I wish I could drink it. It's like everything lately, going back to that medical PTSD thing, once I got over the toxic shock of the, well, I'm still not over it. The blue dye. Thank God they didn't turn me blue though. I mean, I could have made $1 million with that. Ugh, darn it, I should have let them make me blue. But I think they would have killed me though. I don't think I would have made it. So, six one way. I mean, I would get to go be with Jesus, but I would be dead. So, and then I wouldn't be able to tell y'all if there was an advantage to being blue. I didn't. So many discussions, so little time. She drank it all. Well, okay. All right. I'm not going to call you a pig. That wouldn't be appropriate. That wouldn't be nice. You're my friend. But I will say that a little birdie told me that if you just wait till the beginning of next month, you're going to get some more. So just hang in there. They got you on subscribe and save at Amazon. Not sponsored. Do we still got to say that or can we actually just put it out there? I'll put a link in the description, Jocelyn, and you can go purchase you some more and it'll go right into my account. If I can ever figure out how to do that. Okay. I got to call Jordan. He used to be a banker, and maybe he can tell me how to set that up. I still haven't set up the buy me a cup of coffee thing, but I'm getting warmer. I'm getting coffee, getting warmer. Okay. Well, I'm getting warmer to having that set up so you guys can buy me a cup of coffee. Some of y'all got together. I remember Jordan was like, Lisa was really blue and she's down, and he snitched me out to a few folk, and y'all were so kind and sweet. They were gonna buy me a cup of coffee thing, but what happened was I figured out Jordan, who can't hold water, told them, but it's okay. I wasn't mad at him. Told them that I was down and everything in blue, and no, not because of the dye. This was a few years ago, and he told them, and they all came in and sent me emails. We'd like to buy you a cup of coffee. How do we do it? Kind of thing. Because I didn't have nothing for anybody to send me anything. And they're like, we want to send you something. What's your Zelle? This, that, and the other. And I was like, oh, you guys are so sweet. Stupid, but sweet. I love you. Stupid, but sweet. And I mean stupid in this way. Because it was like within 15 minutes of each other, I was getting all these emails going, we want to buy you a cup of coffee. I said, Jordan snitched me out. That was beautiful. Thank you guys, by the way, if you're listening. That was so sweet. A lot of bands came from the UK. Yeah, a lot of bands came from right here. Come on, Celine, get with the program. Catch up. I think you're a traitor. You're just rooting for Britain. What's going on, Celine? Just kidding. Celine just said Jordan needs to swim with the sharks. No, he wants to. By the way, I ain't making it up. It's Shark Week. Today is Sunday. Now, Sunday is the first day of the week, so I'm confused because they announced it last week. So then today will be the end of Shark Week. Somebody just put up a meme this morning. Not a meme, a thumbnail for their channel. No, it was an advertisement on my Roku device. I'm still mad at them. Don't get me started on that rant. And it said Shark Week. And I said, no, this is the end of Shark Week. Y'all announced this a week ago. By the way, did you see the Louis Vuitton bag? I think it was $5,000. I'm like, is that all? Why not put a 1 in front of that 5? Go for broke, y'all. Louis Vuitton. It was a Louis Vuitton bag, all leather, brown, shaped like a shark. I don't have to make up stupidity. They're running out of ideas. I heard somebody talking about it on their podcast and it came up in their feed, scrolling. And I was like, you're making this. That's bull. That's a fake meme. This is fake news. I go look at it and it's real. So I'm like, I don't remember if they were taking advance orders or you had to go to a specific store, but you can get it. And this person was in Chicago. Shout out to Chicago. Where y'all going? Y'all been going for a long time. Chicago. Where you going? Anyway, New York store, and then they got the one out here in Beverly Hills. How come they never put a Louis Vuitton in the ghetto? I just want to know. I don't know what ghetto. Any ghetto in the world. They got white ghettos. They got black ghettos. I want to know why Louis Vuitton is discriminating. Do we have a lawsuit? Can we get a class action going? Is anybody a lawyer? Give me a shout out. Let me know. I think Louis Vuitton should be sued for discriminating against poor folk because you can't afford to buy any of their stuff. What do y'all think? The Bible says you can't sue your brother. You're not supposed to sue your brother. Don't say you can't sue Louis Vuitton. Just saying. I went and I looked to see if that was a real thing. I don't know if you can get it on Amazon, but they do got the knockoffs. They don't call it what Louis Vuitton is calling it. That's how they get away with it. And they use a little cheaper leather. And I'm like, a shark is blue. A shark is not brown. Getting black. How do we keep going back to blue? It's making me blue. They had the shark, and it actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I was rich and had money to burn, so that'd have to be a lot of money, because if I'm burning money, it had to be so much money that I had that I could not possibly care about money. And I don't even think that's possible. Solomon, by the way, was the richest man in the world according to the Bible. He was the richest one that would ever live. I don't care who they are. I don't care if Elon Musk has $10 trillion. They were talking about him this week that he's a trillionaire. They never tell you how many trillions though. They just say trillionaire. I'm like, you can quantify that. There's a number for it. What is it? 5 trillion? 10 trillion? We can't fathom it, but comprehend, understand it. But it's supposed to be a thing. Why is YouTube giving me a reminder to take a break? They telling me to shut up in a polite way? On my other device over here, popped up on the screen. Time for you to take a break? Okay, YouTube, it's only been 53 minutes. 53 minutes and 33 seconds at the time that popped up. So why are you telling me to take a break? Don't you make money when I'm on here doing this? Some kind of way? Anyway, so the whole Tesla thing made him rich. That's why he can afford to pay for rockets to go nowhere into space. Space, the final frontier. Bull crap. They hit us with so much bull crap, we should wear slickers everywhere we go. Face slickers. Is that a thing? Ooh, that's $1 million idea. I just gave it away for free. I want to make a face slicker. I bet you it's a thing. I bet you it's a thing. Face slickers. Somebody will pop in right now and go, you're not talking about Jesus. Ray Ray. See, Jordan said I'm not funny. Ray Ray put up a bunch of laughs. Ray Ray, was that for me? You got to clarify. Because if Jordan even dares to listen to this, he's going to swear. Swear not at all. He's going to vigorously affirm or try to confirm that you never laughed at any of my jokes. I want to get back to this shark thing. I cannot spend $5,000 unless I was, why do they call it filthy rich? Filthy rich. As opposed to clean rich? I mean, whenever I watch a movie about rich people, they're not filthy. We're not talking about their behavior. Some of the movies show the behavior. I'm not talking about that. I was talking about like dress, their clothing. They always dress sharp. They always look nice. Riding in the finest, right? Wearing beautiful jewelry, right? With the bling and sipping pina coladas and mai tais and all that. Well, or non-alcoholic Shirley Temples, whatever. That's why people want to be rich. They had a song about it. I want to be rich. So why do they have terms? Isn't it weird? Do you ever wonder about that stuff? I know I do. But getting back to this is a Christian channel. Christian, which means Christ like. And I'm not ashamed. Even when I'm not Christ like. Even when I'm not Christ like, I'm like, hey, Jesus' example, not me. I have to tell my family that all the time. Don't worry about it, baby. Jesus is the only perfect person that ever lived. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's under the blood. He's from South Africa. Jocelyn Anderson, she's my new fact checker when she shows up in my streams. And that's just because I used to do my streams late night. But anyway, she said that he's from South Africa. Now, I need clarification here. Is he from there because he went there and came back? Was he born there, which would make him African? Don't even get me started. Or did he just visit and isn't he an escapee? What do they call them over here? Illegal aliens. Oh, excuse me. Undocumented workers. Which one is he? Because he's a rich one, whatever it is. You know, there's an old saying, you can call me whatever you want, just put rich in front of it when they're rich. So he's a rich, whatever. Bleak, bleak, bleak. Yeah. There's no sin in being rich. People do sin that are rich, but there is no sin in just having money. Mammon, which is a god, by the way. And some people make it that, and some people don't. Some people use it as a tool, and some people worship it. God gonna judge it. He was born in Pretoria. Did I say it right? Look at Celine being Google, Chat GBT number 2. He was born, did you know this already, Celine, or you went and looked it up? He was born in Pretoria, South Africa, then moved to Canada, and then to the United States. Oh, that's not confusing at all. But let me ask you this. Could he run for president in South Africa? Could he run for president in Canada? I know he can't run over here because you have to be a naturalized citizen. We learned all of that through Obama. Never thought I'd mention that name again. But anyway. So, yeah, and the controversy that surrounded his election. That's curious to me because I don't know what the European countries do. Do you have to be naturalized? Do you have to be a freeborn? I mean, they got so much stuff going on. I don't know how it works over there. So, like, could I go over there, take up roots, rent an apartment or a motel, hotel, Holiday Inn? Yes, that was a song. Help me, Lord, to remember the rest of that line. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. If your friend starts acting up, these show you they the wicked. Then you take her friend. What? Take her where and do what? Because kidnapping is against the law. I'm pretty sure in every country. They got movies and memes about it. I was wondering, can you do it? He holds South African, Canadian, and American citizen. What? Okay, hold up. Stop the presses. Hit that whole stop button thing. Let's hit pause for a minute. I didn't even know triple citizenship was a thing. I heard about dual citizenship because of Israelis and Israel. I know you could be an Israeli and hold dual citizenship. And then I found out you could be from Africa and hold American citizenship. That was a dual thing. I knew you could do that. Found out that from the Hebrew Israelites. But because people would retire and go over there and live like a king on retirement from America, just Social Security, and go over there and live like a king. But you can hold 3 Canadian, African, and American. Now, wait a minute. Africa is a continent, it's not a country. There's a bunch of different countries in Africa. So, South Africa is one place. So, he's South African citizenship, Canadian citizenship, American citizenship. So, what? Is he going to go to Mexico, Guatemala, Puerto Rico? What's the other ones on the other side of Puerto Rico, the black folk on the other side of the island? Haitian. He going to do all of that too? Jamaican. Why not? Then he can be the man of the world. Whole citizenship in every country. See, he's got the money. So if he can apply and get it, he should do it. Because then he could go in the Guinness Book of World Records. Is that an American thing? A British thing? A Canadian thing? In other words, who started the Guinness Book of World Records? Who owns it? Who does it belong to? Because it belongs to somebody. Okay. Y'all making me tired. I ain't even talking about what I wanted to talk about yet. Kidnapping is a problem in Romania. It's a problem anywhere. Not a good thing. Right. They call white South Africans Afrikaners. Don't even get me started on what they call the black ones. I didn't do it. Don't get mad at me. I saw it in a movie Hollywood put out. I ain't going to tell you what it is. You can look it up. You can find it. You can Google it. It starts with a C. Now I pointed you in the right direction. We weren't even talking about race. I wasn't even going there. We were talking about like racing around the world kind of thing. But we're trying to get away from these doctors. That's a race too. Oh, how about a race to find out where Jesus is? Where you at? Tell me. I want to go. Have y'all ever been so down and so sad and so full of pain and hurt that you was like, Lord, just come get me now. Just, I ain't even talking about the rapture. I'm talking about I would rather die than continue to be here. Have you ever had that feeling? Who the heck is talking about deep dish pizza at 6 o'clock in the morning, California time? 9 a.m. if you in the East Coast. Central time would be about 11 a.m. Celine is talking about deep dish pizza. Celine, what is wrong with you? Are you hungry? Did you not get anything to eat last night? Why are you talking about pizza so early in the morning? You and Jordan and Ray Ray with this pizza thing first thing in the morning. It's 9 a.m. That's too early for pizza? How you gonna get it? Most pizza shops don't open till 10:30 in the morning. I don't know why that's a thing, but 10:30. And they start warming it up and getting it ready for 11. And 11 a.m. they ready to go full bore. Get whatever pizza you want with anything you want. Okay, so I talked about Chicago, and but why would that remind you of pizza? Chicago is known for other stuff. Somebody's hungry. I love pizza, but it don't love me. Lately, I can't eat anything. I'm like, am I going to be on a perpetual fast? Everything I eat attacks me. Well, attacks my stomach anyway. I'm working on fixing it, but my goodness. And I love so many different things. I have eclectic food tastes. My aunt used to say, you have a cast iron belly. I didn't even know that was a thing. Does that mean I could walk through a metal detector? I don't. Will cast iron set off a metal detector? Because it's iron. It's not steel. It's not aluminum. We know plastic won't set off a metal detector. So, y'all know about that plastic gun they had, right? That's why the government was pissed off about it. They were like, no, you cannot have this is illegal. Wasn't nothing anywhere that said it was illegal to have a plastic gun. They were mad because it wasn't setting off the metal detector. And what people were doing was you could download it from the internet. I'm not making it up. The plans to make it, go get you a plastic printer and print out all the components. This was a thing about 5 or 6 years ago. It was a big stink about it. Do y'all remember it? I do. And there was the little metal components that needed to be metal. I think it was only a pea shooter. You can only shoot twice. A Derringer type, plastic Derringer. But you could take the metal parts and put it like on your key ring. And then when you go through the metal detector, wherever, you could toss it on there and they wouldn't know. Didn't look like anything. And then pull those parts out, reassemble it, take it on a plane, take it anywhere. And they were like, oh, heck no. What are we going to do? We're going to say it's illegal. Well, it wasn't illegal. I still don't think I still don't think it's illegal, but you know what? You can't find those plans anywhere. Some people still have them, but you can't find the plans. They took it down off the Internet of Things. Not making it up. Did y'all see that stupid show? I'm calling it stupid. Yes, I am. Skying. I don't believe it. It ain't against the law to say that. I don't believe it. People say that about Jesus every day and they don't put him in jail. I don't believe it. Skying. This 28-year-old, I think he was Canadian. They picking on y'all again. They discriminating. They calling y'all crazy and dumb. He was working for one of these Canadian airlines. I think it was called Horizon. Not like the phone company Verizon. Horizon. I think that's what it was called. Don't quote me. And he worked there, so he had the vest and everything. And so he would move the planes around the runway. The pilots don't even do that. They don't go pull them in the hangars for repair and all that. They have people for that. And so he was a baggage person, according to the movie now. I'm just repeating what I saw. According to the movie, what were they? Oh, what was his nickname? Bebo? Bebo. I am not making it up. Beeboo. I'm like, isn't that Boo? Wouldn't Bebo be Beebo? Okay, so they don't get an A for spelling. But anyway, he was working. He had a black friend there. He wasn't no racist. He wasn't no bigot. He had a black friend. They were really good friends. And they would sling those bags together. That's hard work, by the way. That's sweat work. That's grunt work right there. Grabbing them bags. Some of them bags are heavy. And they was, put them on the belts to put in the plane. And when they come off, they would sling them to put them on the cart to bring it to put them on the thing in the, how the airport works. Anyway, supposedly he heard pilots calling them derogatory names like monkey. What do they call them? Tar monkeys. Because they worked on the tarmac, which is what they call the airport thing out there for the planes. And then something else. There was another one they had, grunt monkeys, all kind of stuff they were calling them. Supposedly, according to the movie. And that this was one of his stressors to make him go crazy. Anyway, he gets and takes the plane that he's supposed to be driving somewhere to park it and decides to fly it. And it only had like half of its fuel, hadn't been fueled up yet. I'm like, well, dude, if you were going to do it, at least do it right. You're going to go to jail forever for doing this. Why didn't you at least get it fueled up? I mean, you worked there. You could have got it fueled up. That's part of your job. So anyway, he takes the plane in this movie called Skying. It wasn't a series because, according to spoiler alert, I'm giving you time. Skip this if you want. He dies because he does what do they call it? A belly roll with the plane, where he does a loop. We used to call it a loop. You go to the air shows, and I've been to one or two of them. It's a loop that they do in the sky. Well, he did this with, what was it, a 747 or a 757? that was not in service. There was nothing wrong with the plane, but he was responsible for taking it to park it and decided to fly it. And the air traffic control goes, according to the movie, uh, let's just, because I don't remember the detail, hypothetically say, flight 442, where are you going? You don't have clearance to go down this, taxi that down the runway. Oh, you're breaking up. He goes, you're, you're breaking up. And supposedly he used to fly flight simulators on his computer, so he thought he could do this. But his stressor was he got mad that they were calling him names. Huh? I don't believe that. I'm sorry. People call you names, you punch them in the nose, God forbid. You call them a name back. You do something dirty to their clothes or uniform, or you go tell your supervisor. You don't go take a plane and decide to do a belly roll in midair over the water because NORAD, this was confusing. They didn't call it NORAD in the movie though. They just said the Air Force. So I guess it was the Canadian Air Force. I don't know what y'all call them out there. Canuck flyers. I don't know what y'all call them. I don't know. They waited to make sure he wasn't going to threaten to fly. Does Canada have a large population anywhere? Because yeah, that country is so huge and spread out. Every time I see anybody film in Canada, it's just wide open country. So who's he going to hit? I don't think he was that good a pilot. Oh, there's a car right there on that road. I'm going to crash it into the car. I don't think he was that good a pilot. But supposedly he did a belly roll over some river out there and missed it by 10 feet. Now, supposedly they had all these people taking shots with their cell phones of him, but they didn't show that part. They didn't show him getting 10 feet from the water. I'm like, where's the reenactment? They could have got Scully to do it. Or the black one. Who was the one in the black movie about the pilot that landed the plane when but he was flying drunk and the plane hit something or whatever in the air and he managed to land it. But then he tried to cover his butt by not saying that he had actually drank on the plane. And what I didn't like about that movie, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was with Denzel. Um, Denzel Washington, the actor we know as. He was drinking vodka and orange juice, which is a nasty drink anyway. And he took it from the cart that they have, but it was as the plane was getting ready to take off before they went, and so they have it locked up because you can't get in unless the plane is actually flying. But none of the flight people are supposed to ever be able to get any of that. But they're the ones with the key. Now make that make sense. So I'm like, is this dude the one going back to the Canadian dude high, drunk, on meds? Because you don't lose your mind and go steal an aircraft. But long story short, the NTSA, which evidently is around the world organization, it's not just the United States. National, what is that? NT, Transit, Highway. I think there's highway in there somewhere. H, Safety Administration, it's long. They came in and said, we investigated it, and the only crime that he committed, and the FBI, according to them, but I thought they were American, Federal Bureau of Investigation, they said the only crime he committed was plane theft. And I'm going, wait a minute, wait, back up. How much do those things cost? $100 million, I don't even know. Ridiculous amount of money. He stole it, which in this country, certain amount of money makes the theft a higher crime. It's not a misdemeanor. But they were claiming it was a misdemeanor and that it was just plane theft, airline plane theft. And I'm going, so you're telling me that I could get high as a kite, allegedly, possibly, on meds or otherwise, go cop a plane at a place that I work, take the plane out on the runway without permission, then get it up in gear, pull back like they show, get it up in the air, fly it, do a loop de loop in the air. I might as well go for double. He only did one belly roll. I might as well do two belly rolls. He didn't have no coffee, so I didn't believe he was really a pilot. But anyway, because they always have them showing them with cups in their hand, like they're trying to stay awake. Fly the plane, do the loop to loop over water or land. Land it, because I wouldn't kill myself. I ain't that crazy, no matter how high I get, if I were to get high. Especially if I wasn't saved, and I don't know where I'm going to go when I die. You got to be kidding me. Land the plane, and now all they going to do is what? Come on, we're going to take you in here and talk to you? He would have lost his job at the airline for sure, because they would have put him in a psych ward somewhere, in a rubber room, straitjacket or something, for observation. And then what? Because they're saying it wasn't even a crime. Now, you find that believable, because I don't. But Hollywood put the movie out. Yeah, they ain't got me on one yet either, Jay. Sure. She said planes are not for her. They ain't never got me on one either. It's dangerous enough being in a car. You ain't getting on me in something that could possibly go down. And not many people walk away from them things when they do. Preservation of the flesh is not a sin. Taking care of your body and making sure it don't get hurt is not a sin. And one way I do that is stay away from the airline. Y'all still talking about deep dish pizza, Chicago, New York. Now they got a feud going. Go make your own video. Which one's better? Then it gives you an excuse to go buy both. How you gonna get it though? Jay sure is out there on the East Coast. Celine is out there in the Midwest somewhere. How y'all gonna get those pizzas to test them? It's a quandary. So how you gonna get one, and then you're gonna have to do the whole Philly cheesesteak pizza. You can't discriminate, so now you got to decide which deep dish. But are you gonna just go for pepperoni? You're gonna go for cheese. You're gonna go with anchovies. You're gonna get it with steak and cheese. See, this just gets to be ridiculous because there's many different ways you can have deep dish. So you can't go Chicago's the best. You can't go New York is the best. You can't go LA is the best. There's still a debate over who even created pizza. Some say it was the Greeks. Some say it was the Italians. Don't get me started on that. I love pizza and I can't have it right now. Don't get me talking about pizza. Celine says she's in the East Coast. You mean on the East Coast? Because if you were in the East Coast, you'd be out in the water. Just, just pointing that out, Celine. Maybe you are in the water and you have your bathing suit on. Is it cold or is it hot right now? What beach are you at? She's 2 hours away from New York. This is Jay Shore. And New York pizza definitely better than Philly. So, are you a New Yorker, Jay Shore? Are you just visiting? Because you about to start a feud and I'm not getting in it. I'm not. My name is Nat and I'm not in there. Do y'all think I should pay for StreamYard? Not sponsored. They got a 40% off sale and I got like 10 hours to make up my mind. Why do they do this crap? Why do companies do this? We've got a 10-hour sale. We got a 24-hour sale. We got a 36-hour sale. We got a 4-night sale. We got a 30-day sale. Give people time. How about I just click the link and whenever I click it, it's on sale? How about that? 40% off sale, which is going to bring it down to about 21, 22 bucks. I'll get most of the features, but not all of it. That's why I couldn't play no music. Couldn't have my overlay. Couldn't do the whole. I can't hit the thing that makes Celine laugh. That goes womp womp womp. That makes Jordan angry. I can't do none of that because I'm only on the free version. Which shout out to them for the free version. When you ain't got much money, the free version really helps. Could you imagine y'all talking about pizza? If you could go in and they were like free pizza today, how long do you think that line would be? How long before they would go out of business? They would have to limit it. It's like free slice of pizza, and the pizza would be the size of your thumbnail. We didn't say how big, like a pizza bite. We didn't say how big. It's just free. Beggars can't be choosy. There's a man who goes around and reviews pizzas around the country for a living. Celine, I disbelieve you. First of all, how is he getting around the country? It costs money to travel. Number one. Number two, who's paying for his reviews? Is he famous or infamous? That they want his reviews so bad that they're going to fly him out there. They're going to pay for his airfare, for his hotel, pay him to eat and review it. I want that job. He owns Barstool Sports. So there you go. So what? Okay, so he's sitting on a stool in a bar. So now you're telling me he's drunk. He's a drunkard, which the which the Bible says we're not to do. So now you're going to tell me he's a drunkard and he reviews pizzas. So now I got to watch a drunk reviewer. Send me the link. Please send me the link. Don't put it in the chat here. Send it to me. You have my email. Send it to me and I want to see it. Because no, what's her name? Good old Ray Ray. You never forget it is doubled. Ray Ray sent me a link to a channel. So what are you doing, Ray Ray? One day, a few months ago, I texted her, "What are you doing?" She says, "I'm sitting here watching this channel with this woman who eats all this food, but she's small. She never gains any weight." I said, "What?" She said, "Yes, she can eat, and she eats more than her husband and everybody else all the time in these food contests and win. Where you go, if you eat this whole 48-ounce porterhouse steak with the potato and the salad and the dessert and a drink, we'll let you have it. It's like $100 dinner for nothing." And she's able to finish it when other people can't. And even she even sops up the crumbs 90% of the time. Ray Ray sent it to me. It was a thing. I go and I look and I'm like, oh my God, how can she do it? And she's like firm. I'd be scared for that woman to hit me. I didn't see nothing flimsy on her body at all. Like if she hit you, it'd be like bam, like put your butt through a wall. It's like, how did she do it? She must have two hollow legs. I saw her eat a pizza that was the size of most people's round kitchen tables. You know those round kitchen tables where you can seat four people, not two. Not the one that seats two people, the one that seats 4 or 6 people. A pizza that big, and she ate it. And I'm going, you got to be kidding me. I'm wondering if she throws it up afterwards. That's not good for you anyway if you do that. It's not good. But my goodness, I couldn't believe it. Ray Ray Chuck, there's some weird things in the earth that's totally true. Speaking of which, I gotta take a sip of water here. I am. Y'all been having me talking for an hour and 23 minutes and 53 seconds with no sip of water. There, excuse me, there's a sip. You love Chicago deep dish pizza. Can you get Chicago deep dish pizza in New York? Y'all still haven't answered the question. And can you get New York style pizza in Chicago? I know I can get New York style, Chicago style, right here in LA, in Los Angeles. Celine said, yes, you can at the pizzeria known as Uno's. Yeah, I know it's a pizza chain. They have it out here. You don't really like Uno's. I tried Uno once. Get it? Uno. One. I've probably had it more than once in my life, but it's like, yeah, it's okay. It's not nasty, but it ain't nothing I'd write home about. It's not like, oh my God, I got to get another one. Only a couple of pizzas I ever had like that. And believe it or not, one of them came from a box. Now y'all really confused because y'all be like, don't every pizza come in a box? I meant from the grocery store. Frozen. Wasn't fresh. The one that's already made. Pop it in the oven. And it was delicious. And I want to say it was before I couldn't eat these things anymore. I want to say one of them was it Uno in a box? I can't remember. It's frozen. Do they make those frozen? Trying to remember the name of it. I can see it. And it was deep dish style and it was delicious. How many of you like drive-in pizza? Got me talking about pizza. I don't want to talk about pizza. It tastes like cardboard, but it's delicious cardboard. Okay, we're going to move right along. A lot of people passed away in the last 6 months. A lot of people, famous and otherwise. In my personal life, some people died, some friends. Medical profession got them. They got them. Thankfully, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2 were ifs. I don't know if they went up or down. I don't. They were Roman Catholic. I pray they went up. I pray they knew the Lord. And I just never heard that they converted. Because Roman Catholic is not Christian. It's pagan. And then the other 2 were believers. Thankfully. I knew they were believers. 1, 2. Wait. 1, 2. Nope. 3 that were believers. So is it just because, well, let's see, they were both over 70. And the other one, yeah, I've got some other people that got by the medical profession too. They did everything they said, and they still got sicker and sicker until they were dead. That doesn't make sense. If it's physician heal thyself, then why aren't you healing the people? I know Jesus is the healer, and he still does it today. Just gonna take a minute, catch my breath, thinking about these people because I just lost a good friend that I knew for 15 years, coworker. She drove a truck too. She was a bad mamma jamma in the day too. Because we did truck driving when there were hardly any women truck drivers at all. When we got started, it wasn't even a thing. We used to have people breaking their necks, running into stuff, looking at us driving that truck. And she did it for over 25 years. I did it for over 30. The most dangerous job in the country, by the way. They want you to believe it's a bunch of other stuff like firefighters. Shout out to the firefighters. No, it's not the most dangerous. Police officers, no, it's not the most dangerous. FBI, no. Criminal minds investigators, no. Pilots, no. That's supposed to be the safest form of travel according to their statistics, so it's not dangerous. Truck driving is the most dangerous job in the country based on the number of accidents, incidents, and fatalities that happen. And they can't get $20 an hour. There, I'm back on that. Can't get a living wage. It's evil. It's not right, and I'm saying it. You can take it and make a clip, put it on a loop, and put it all over social media. I don't care. That needs to change. Those guys and ladies are away from their family, tethered to that truck, and they don't get paid for it. You're responsible for the load 24/7, 365, every day you're in it, and they don't pay you for it. Some of them still getting paid by the mile. That's dumb. I would never work like that. Never. I did it for one short period of time, And I realized it was the stupidest way to earn money driving a truck, so I got out of it. Somebody needs to message DM. Can you direct message the president? Tell him you need to fix this. Congress, you need to fix this. It ain't right. And they said, well, if you do that, if you raise the truck driving, there's only supposed to be 3 million truckers anyway. How many millions of Americans? 300 and some million? Ain't nobody gonna go broke if they give that truck driver another $1 an hour or 2 or 5. They're not gonna go broke because they're gonna spread it out over all the freight. There's all kinds of freight, electronics, cold food, hot food, all kind of food. Spread it out 10 cents, 2 cents, whatever it is, over all of that freight. It ain't gonna break nobody. Because all they're gonna do is raise the price on the public anyway. So your milk goes up 2 cents. You can do it. You can be happy knowing that the truck driver is getting paid right. Because if you own it, a truck brought it. If you got somebody comes to the door with a package and they got out of a car, because I know they do that stuff now, Uber delivering packages and stuff. They have a warehouse where all that stuff came off of a truck for them to break it down to give it to that driver to put in their car. I know, I worked in supply chain. So if you own it, a truck brought it. And it's not right that these guys and these women don't get paid right. It's not. And it's time for a change. And the American Truckers Association ain't worth crap. ATA, I don't give a flip. They aren't worth crap because they are for the warehouses. They're for the big companies and the corporations that want to keep the wages low. They're called the American Truckers Association, but it don't have nothing to do with the truckers other than exploiting them and keeping their wages low. Those guys, some of them have to go and lump those loads called lumping. That's where you have to get out. You take a pallet of stuff, and it might be 50 boxes, 60 boxes, some of them are heavy, on a pallet, and you have to break it down because of these warehouses and these grocery store, what do they call them? Grocery warehouses. They only have them so high. They call them rings or tiers. And they can only be so many high because they take it and put it on a pallet on a forklift, picks it up and takes it out and puts it right out on the floor like at Costco and Sam's Club and these other warehouses. And so they have to break it down. And some of them have to do their own work. And they don't get paid. It's not right. Then get back in that truck and drive. And now they only have 14 hours that they can do it. And so much of that has to be sleep time. So they only get so much time to drive. It's a mess for the truck driver. It's a mess. I used to do it so I can talk about it. I know what I'm talking about. And they can't strike. There's a whole thing. It's against the law. They can't do a convoy. You can't even say that word. That's against the law. Because it would shut down the country and they don't want that to happen if the supply chain shut down. So they can't use certain words. They can't use boycott. They can't do any of that. They got to show up or else. None of y'all is talking anymore. Celine said, I'm with you, Lisa. I'm not working unless I get paid. Well, Celine, though, for you right now at least, all I'd have to do is pay you with a pizza. And you'll do anything I want. Did she put it? I'm gonna put it right there. She did. She said that. So that means I can go get the cheapest pizza. A 99, do they still have those at the dollar store? A 99-cent frozen pizza, and Celine will do anything I want her to do. Come clean my house, Celine. I need some yard work done. You're cheap labor, woman. I know you're still here, Jocelyn. I figure you're just listening. All right. Now I'm gonna ask y'all because y'all wouldn't do this. I would do the stream and then you wouldn't even do it. And I'd ask you at the end and y'all bolt. I guess you were going to get pizza. I want you to put your favorite scripture. You don't have to put the whole thing because it might be long. You can just put the chapter and the verse. And I'm going to post it up here so they can't say we didn't go over no scriptures since it's a Christian channel. It's a Christian channel. We'll drown them in some scriptures then. Help me out, people. And it's your favorite scripture, so you should know it already. See, Jocelyn's still awake. She didn't get punch drunk on no pizza. She was first. Toph is fired, by the way. Toph didn't even show up. No, I know Toph is out here on the West Coast. So he was still asleep. It's Sunday. I know he was still asleep. But y'all can tease him and send him the link. Toph, you weren't even there. Jocelyn's favorite scripture is Proverbs 3:6. Oh, crap. All I got is my New Testament. Nope. That one's buried. I'm not going to even try to get that one. I'd have to move 10 things to get that Bible. Jocelyn. Let's see. I can go here on my other one. On my my digital device. I do have a Bible on here. Jocelyn, you went to the Old Covenant? You don't have a New Testament? Yes, I said it. I'm messing with you. Proverbs 3:6. Genesis, Numbers. Okay. 3, and then we need verse 6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. This is the Masoretic text, but that's not a bad one. I didn't know we had paths. I thought we just had a path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. There it says paths, plural. So that means many different paths, huh? I know I came home many different paths the other day. We went one way, and the GPS sucks. GPS sucks. GPS told me to take this long route that was 23 minutes, and I did it. Still managed to be like only 5 minutes late getting where I was going, but get there, and then on the way back, I'm not even paying attention to my driving. My aunt's with me. I'm just following the realtor that we were following to go look at these properties, and she had to head back one direction. I knew what direction she had in, so I just followed her. And I said, when it's time for me to turn, I'll turn. And she kept going straight, and I turned. And then I ended up back on this main street out here to get back to where I needed to go. And we got home in 5 minutes, and my aunt was like, wait a minute. It took us 20. I said, that was GPS. You Googled it. Google said take this route to get there. But we could have left and went the other way, and it only took 5 minutes. I said, Google owes me some money for the gas I burned and the time that I used, wasted trying to get there when I could have went the other way. That's okay. She said, now you got it. I said, yeah, now I know. I'll go the other way the next time we go back over there to look. Because you always got to go back for a second look. You ain't going to spend that much on a piece of property and don't go look again. I mean, it would have to be outstanding for you to just go, I want it. I'm taking it right now. We did that one time. I bought a house, and no, I'm not rich. I was working class, working as a truck driver, but I had the down payment. And I went in, and they had an open house. And I saw the billboard from the freeway. So I got off and went over there. Mom was with me. We went down the street. Said, this is it right here. Went inside they have a model home. It's always called the model home. And they show you the model home, but that one was a little 2-bedroom. I'm like, I ain't buying no little stinky 2-bedroom. I didn't want that. I ain't hating on anybody if that's enough room for you, but it wasn't for me. And I was like, no, these houses are a little too small for a 2-bedroom. I want to see the bigger one. So the realtor came out and he said, okay, I'll show you this one right here. He said, it's almost 100% finished. It was like 98% done. And I was like, oh, I want it. And I liked the floor plan. We went across the street. We saw the 2 stories. They were too small. And I didn't want to climb those stairs every day. I was like, no. So then he showed me another one, but the floor plan was flipped the other way. I didn't like that one. So I said, what about this one over here? He said, well, it's not finished. Let's go look at it. We went in, looked at the garage. It was attached, which I liked and all that. I said, I'll take it. So he was like, you have that much money? I looked at him like he was crazy. I said, I work every day. What are you talking about? I know how to save money. I said, how much do I need? He said, well, you'd have to put what's called earnest money to prove that you're not wasting our time and all that. I think it was, yeah, called earnest money. And he said, well, I'm going to need at least 2,500 right now. And then the other for when you go through escrow and all that. And I said, okay. So I wrote him a check for $2,500. And he was shocked that I had that much money. The other money was sitting in a bank account in North Carolina that I had to actually go get because I was a truck driver and I was traveling all over the country. So I opened an account at a bank that I went in and I said, I don't want no access to it. I don't want a debit card. I don't want nothing. I want to have to physically come in and withdraw this money. That way, when my direct deposit hits it, I can't touch it. I ended up saving the money, and I still had money left over for the move-in costs and all that. And I don't know, 45 days later, so I told him, man, I need a little more time than 30 days to get this straightened out. Because I said, I'm going to come off this road, and I'm going to look for a job. So y'all saying, wait a minute. You bought a house, but you quit your, yes, it was a long story. But what happened was I bought the house and I wanted to leave the job I was working at and go to another company. And they were over the road, but they promised they were going to get me home much more often, like once a week if I wanted to be home. And I said, okay, that's fine. And we'll see. And they were already offering like a per diem allowance, which President Trump eliminated, jackass. Yeah, I said it. He eliminated it. Per diem allowance is when, let's say they paid you 32 cents a mile. Only 12 cents a mile would get taxed. 20 cents a mile wasn't taxed. So I was able to make a lot more money. And long story short, they said, don't buy anything. When you go, they're going to run your credit. Don't buy anything until your house is in escrow because then they won't run it again. I said, okay, fine. I waited. I didn't have a car. I didn't need a car. I lived in the truck. So I bought the house. It's going through escrow. Went out here and bought me a Nissan Altima. This was like 30 years ago now. And went down to, I don't know why I went so far away, Universal City. Wonder why they called it that. It's not far from Universal Studios, but anyway. Bought it was Universal Nissan. That's what it was. Bought the car. Didn't really even care. It was a used car, low mileage. Had to make payments. My payment was $310 and change a month, and I hated it. Every minute of it. Not the car. The car was okay. It was a stick. I could drive a stick. Who was it? My brother taught me how to drive a stick because he said, you learn how to drive a stick, you can drive anything. And that's probably why I ended up being able to drive a truck. Now that they switched to automatics, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, bought the car and I said, look, I need to leave it here. And he was like, what? I said, I can't. I've came in the truck and parked across the street. I can't drive both vehicles home. So can I leave it for a day or two and I'll have a family member come get it? Well, I ended up going out on another trip and I just called him and said, look, man, I already bought the car. I'm going to send somebody to get it, but I had to go take another run. Oh, no worries. It's here for you. No worries. I'm making a payment on a car that's sitting on there a lot. Go figure that. And then I came home, got a family member. I took a load. Yeah. Parked the truck in my parents' driveway, not the whole thing, just they call it bobtail when it's without the trailer. Parked that in the driveway, got in their car, came down, they brought me in, I picked up the car. Won't even go into all the problems I had with that car in the beginning. But anyway, got out to a place 100 miles away where I bought my house. And that was 99,000 and change. But when I was traveling to Colorado, The guy said, well, Lisa, you just closed escrow. I got the keys. And you can wait, and it'll take 7 days for you to get your stuff, or I can bring it to you in Colorado. I said, oh, you'll do that? Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. We met at some little funky diner out there. He said, the laws just changed. I said, what do you mean? He said, I would have to do this a different way. And I don't remember all the details. He said, but I'm just going to give you the keys now and sign here, here, and here. I signed my life away here, here, and here. Gave me the keys, and I had the keys to my house. Car sitting on the car lot at the deal. So I told my aunt who was traveling with me at the time, you want to go shopping? She said, I said, we weren't supposed to be able to buy anything. I said, now we can go shopping. So we went and we bought some stuff and threw it in the truck. Then I called my company and said, I quit. Transferred to the other company, went over there, came home, and put everything together in the house. And we left some boxes up. And I mean, it's like he was like, what do you want to do? Whatever you want to do, you figure out a way to do it if you really want to do it. With God's help in it and instruction. Then I got off the road, got some local jobs, started making really good money locally before those companies went crazy. I'm like, is it something in the air? Is it something in the water? That every time I get a job, these companies go crazy? But God got me through. That was my cup closing the lid there. You're going to build up your credit for a newer car? Why don't you just save your money and get a newer car? Be your own bank. That's the thing, right? Have you ever looked it up? I think I put it in the community section. I did a post on how to be your own banker. If you live with your parents, you can definitely be your own banker. Just be patient, save your money, and be your own banker. Because if you buy the car in a private sale, you might get a better deal than you would from a dealer. Because they're going to charge you interest on top of it. I just bought a car, a van, that's a 2014. It had 98,000 miles on it. The darn thing is like new on the inside. It's got a couple of scratches on the outside, but I don't care. No big dents. And it'll do just what I need. That thing got get up and go. And just like my money that I had to put down on it, got up and went. I owe a few payments, just a few, but no interest. This is somebody I've been dealing with for about 7 or 8 years now. I bought 3 cars from him. This is my third one. And because I made the payments on time, he don't charge me interest. And he's an actual car dealer. So working out and doing relationships and being kind to people and being nice has its benefits. I could go buy a car from him right now and no money down. I know it. I'll pay you next month. Or let's make payments. And he'll be like, okay. Because when you're rich, he's not really rich, but he has enough money to be able to go, okay, don't worry about it. See you next month. And by the way, Carvana? It always reminds me of that religion, Carvana. Prana, Carvana. Anyway, he delivered it to my door. Didn't cost me a dime. I'm not making it up. As the Lord is my witness. How did that happen? Well, we went to get the car. And I was just going to have it towed back. Actually, I was going to have my car towed back and drive that van back. But it wasn't ready. When we were test driving it, we heard something and we were like, that ain't right. My aunt heard it first. And I said, that sounds like a sway bar. I got brothers and a father that was in the cars. Anyway, we get back. He said, yeah. He said, I heard it rattle the other day too. I said, when was you going to mention it? Oh, I was going to tell you. Yeah, okay. Then why did you let me come all the way down here 45 miles away when you knew it wasn't right? Well, I was going to just give you like $200 off. And when was you going to mention that? Anyway, gave him the money for the van. He said, I'll get it fixed and then you can come get it. All right, another week, no big deal. I waited 3 years to find the right thing, looking and looking and looking and looking, and I finally found it. So no worries. Then he calls after I said, well, I'll come get it. And his daughter flaked on cleaning it. She was supposed to clean it. She does all his detail work on the cars he sells. And she didn't do it. She decided to hang out with some friends or something and didn't feel like doing it. So it never got done. He didn't take any money off on that. I don't care. I just want to get the van now. Can I get the van? You got my money. Can I get the van? I'll have it delivered. Yeah, it's the least I could do since you couldn't get it. Okay, great. He had it towed here. Guy couldn't have been nicer. He even gave the tow truck driver a $20 tip. He said, take care of my niece. Here's $20. So they get it towed here. I said, do you need anything from me? He said, no. I said, I pulled out a $20 bill to give it to him. Oh, no, no, no. Your uncle took care of me. He's not my uncle, by the way. He told him that I was his niece. Get out of here. We're in a relationship. I didn't even know. We're family. I didn't even know. And I said, well, here's $20. No, no, no. Your uncle took care of me. I said, thank you. I'm glad he did. He's a good guy, but take this anyway. And the young man, he couldn't have been but like 32, 33 years old. He was like, what? For real? Yeah. I said, go ahead. So it's sitting in the driveway. I've used it half a dozen times already, at least. I like it because it's E85. That gas is supposed to, well, that fuel is supposed to be cheaper out here, like 2.89 a gallon. But every time I go to get it, it's out of order. I'm like, these gas stations are conspiring. How is it I go to get it and pay 2.85 to be happy about not having to pay 5.69 and it's not working? The pump is not working. I'm like, this is a bunch of crap. Anyway, Carvana is Amazon for cars. I like that. The only thing is it doesn't arrive in a big envelope or brown box. They don't have one big enough. Watch somebody like Mr. Beast or be on his program or podcast doing a giveaway for a car that they put in an Amazon box with a big red bow. Watch. Just because I said it. If it hasn't already been done. We're on a first name basis with our Amazon delivery driver because my dad orders so much stuff. Celine literally said that. You know what? That's me, Celine. I don't know any of the drivers because I'm so rich, I don't even go to the door. Get it? No, my aunt lives with me and she's always in the living room, which is right by the door. So she gets the packages. They'll come and sometimes they'll ring the bell, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you just hear the box hit the ground, blam. And I don't worry about it. I used to work in transportation and I know how they do. Y'all be surprised how they throw this stuff around. They don't care if it's computers. They don't, I don't, y'all when they catch people on the ring cameras and they put it on TV, on America's Funniest Home Videos or on the news, this is shameful. I'm like, no, it's not. That's how they do it. If it's heavy, they can't wait to get it out of their hand. Especially on a hot day or a snowy day. If they put the box where it's not getting wet and it's not getting cooked and melted by the sun, they did their job. Leave them alone. I have never called on anybody. Never. I had a package go missing. I didn't call on them. I called the company. It wasn't Amazon. It was another shopping network, something that I ordered and I was waiting for it. And I was like, I never got it. It says delivered. And they said, no worry, we'll send you another one. I said, this time send it to my mom's. Because somebody snagged that and I don't know. I've only been home for a few months and I don't know what's going on with the mail yet. I don't know if it was the postal workers. And yes, they do steal. Would you stop messing with my stream, YouTube? Keeps asking me, you've been on here long enough. You want to take another break? I got to turn that setting off. The heck? It's not doing it on the phone I'm streaming on right now, but it's doing it on this other one. Get out of here with that crap. I'm an adult. I don't need you telling me I need to take a break from screen time. Carvana for car. You know what? You should put that on a t-shirt. You can make $1 million. Amazon is Carvana. Carvana is Amazon for cars. I'm gonna make the t-shirt. I'm going with a different surveillance system. Ring turns on my cams when I turn them off, and I'm tired of them spying on me and my neighbors. Ooh, she said it. That's creepy. That is so creepy and weird. I don't like that. I just bought one off of Amazon for like $10 when they had Prime Day sale, and I undecided if I want to use it or not. Now this one, unlike the other ones, it's not Wi-Fi. It's Bluetooth, so I can turn it on when I'm in range and watch it. And it's just to see the package deliveries. I don't even want to look out there at night because then I'll see a cat creeping. And if my aunt sees it, she's going to freak out and chase it off the property. And be like, no, it's going to spray. You know how they spray their scent to mark their territory. And then I'll see a lizard or something, and I won't be able to sleep because I don't like critters. So, no. But just when they ring the bell, so I can, and you can talk to them too, right through your phone. And I'll be like, hey, how you doing? And we tell them a joke and everything. They'll be standing out there for 2 hours because there's actually a chair out there. I said, hey, pull up a seat. I'll get you a cold bottle of water. Let's talk. And then we'll be on the news, and I don't want them to lose their job. But I do have it here, still in the box, still got the plastic on it too. That's why my aunt calls me a hoarder. I'm like, no, no, no. Hoarders are nasty. I don't know what, I'll come up with a name for it. This is all brand new stuff. Don't call me no hoarder. Maybe I should send you the camera I have, Jocelyn. J.A. I'm going to call you J.A. from now on. J.A. That way you can not have to spend any money. She said Amazon owns Ring. Yeah, but mine's is not a Ring camera. J.A. said that. She said Amazon owns Ring. I think you're right. And evidently, pretty soon, if not already, Carvana. Oh, don't put out disinformation. I I think I'm gonna use it. It's the strangest thing. I was sitting in my car in the driveway a couple of weeks ago, and Amazon pulled up. They parked at the end of the driveway. We have a long straight driveway. He could have pulled up if he wanted to. It was just a small box. So he gets out and he's looking at his machine and he's punching it in and scanning and doing all the things they do to make his delivery. And I'm in the car right in front of him. He doesn't look down the driveway and see me. And I tooted the horn and then he waved and went. I said, dude, now I got to go get the box. Why didn't you just bring it to me? It was the same distance, literally. And I could have just tossed it in the back seat in the car and dealt with it when I got back. My aunt said, don't worry about it. Well, I'll get it or I'll get it. And she just went and got it and threw it on the floor in the house. I said, y'all don't realize they throw everything. Everybody's throwing them boxes. I throw them. I get angry about something, I throw it in a minute. Be angry and sin not. I'll kick that stupid box now that I can move again. Did y'all know that I was bedridden for months? That's what I was supposed to be talking about a little bit. Medical PTSD and what I went through. After they almost killed me with the blue dye, I couldn't move because I found out this thing called deconditioning. I posted it in the community section. It's a thing. I couldn't move. It stinks, not, no pun intended, not to be able to wipe your own backside. And I was bedridden, and my mom was coming to visit me in the hospital. I affectionately call it the hell hospital. There's a lot of people though that are very very nice people and helped me greatly. And I couldn't even turn. They had to help me turn. And at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where I was a patient, and you do have to be patient, they would come and turn me every 2 hours. It's a law out here that they have to turn you so that you don't get bed sores, right? And so, Jocelyn, your comment is still up, and I'm trying to figure out how to get it off because I didn't realize I was talking so much that I didn't turn it off. And now I don't see it. So, what is going on? Anyway, that's weird. It's on one screen, but not the other. Go figure. So, they helped me, and then I had to go to a rehab because there wasn't anybody at home that could help me. My aunt couldn't handle all of that, and I'd have to get a trapeze and all the bed rails and a hospital bed and all that. So, they sent me to a rehab, and I met wonderful people there that helped me bring me back from the edge of despair many days. But then I found out this thing called patient's rights. And boy, did I let them have hell. I started ordering stuff and doing stuff because they were telling me that I couldn't have certain things, right? They told me I couldn't have salt because they had me on a low sodium diet because of my heart. And I'm like, Jesus didn't never say we couldn't eat salt. I will salt my food to taste. Y'all full of crap. So I ordered me some sea salt, left it right on my table. Dared them to say anything because I found out I had the right. So all I was doing was exercising my rights, even though I couldn't exercise my legs yet. It really stinks to have to go to the bathroom on yourself. It's horrible. Can't imagine what babies feel. No wonder they cry. My diaper is full. Fix this. No wonder they cry. Drooling. Yep, did that. All kind of stuff. One day I'll go through the whole thing. Not today. And finally, I was like, okay, I can't take this no more. What is it going to take for me to be able to get a commode chair? Well, you got to be able to sit up to get on the commode chair, Lisa, and you got to be able to transfer. Really? What do you mean transfer? Well, you either have to slide over with a transfer board or you have to get up and walk. Do y'all know that in just 11 days I lost the ability to walk? 11 days of being in the bed. You wouldn't think that could happen. And my feet were so sore. My legs and my muscles. And I had to raise up. You have to have your core. That's to be able to sit up straight. Then throw your legs over. Then place your weight. We do these things and we don't even think about the miracle that is occurring for us to just get up and do basic things in life. That's why you have to encourage your little baby. Like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Flip over. And they go from laying on their back to flipping over on their belly and then being able to flip back and look at you funny while doing it. And then they start walking. You hold their little hands like we do with a walker. And then, come on, you can do it. Step, step, step. And they fall and you go, that's okay, baby. Get up. Usually they land on their bottom, which has the most pad. And they laugh and, and they get up and do it again. Next thing you know, they're running and you're like, wait, slow your roll, player. Slow your roll. Come back here. You got to get one of those kid safety things. You got to start putting up gates. You didn't have to do that when they couldn't move. Well, that's what they started trying to do to me when I started moving. You can't do this without our permission. I'm like, you want to bet? I didn't need your permission when I came here, and I don't need it now. They messed with me. They played with me at this rehab center and told me that I couldn't bathe. I had to do sponge baths in the bed because they didn't have a shower. And I'm doing the eye squint thing, like, you're full of crap. You don't have a shower in this facility. Come to find out, they didn't want to do it. They were lazy. So I called for the supervisor of the facility and I said, I understand that all these other people are getting 2 showers a week. Yes, that's right. Okay, where's mine? Well, you can't move. I don't care. Y'all got a gurney? Roll my butt in there. And don't tell me don't do it. I've seen too many movies. I said, don't you got these things called shower chairs? Yeah, we do. They got wheelchairs that you can roll into the shower. And I was like, with cushions for your booty so you don't get sore. And I was like, you know what? You gonna do something or we gonna have a problem. I'm gonna start filing complaints around here. And I don't want to do that, but I will if I have to. Long story short, I was taking showers, but it was so cold in there because the facility in the hallways would have the air blowing. And then in the patient rooms, which we had to share, which stinks, Ray Ray's rich. She's in a rehab center for her drug problem. Just kidding. Ray Ray knows I'm kidding. I tease her about that all the time. Um, she has a private room and she's on the East Coast. I'm like, you're rich. Because I was out here in Beverly Hills and couldn't get a private room. They were telling me I'd have to pay an extra $550 a week. Like, I ain't got that kind of money. Are you nuts? If I had that, I wouldn't give it to you. So I had to share a room with another lady, very nice lady. She was 96 years old. She was connected to Hollywood. I didn't hold it against her. She said she used to be a seat filler in Hollywood. That's a thing. They actually have a movie called The Seat Filler. Anyway, and they did a remake on it. It was one they did in the 40s or 50s, and they did another one with black people about 15 years ago with Kelly Rowland. Y'all gonna? No, I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna do it. You know, I could shake like this. Anyway, long story short, we ended up becoming friends. First, I didn't like her, but they changed me 2 or 3 times in there because I kept giving them problems. And they would move me, and they moved me finally to where I was so close to the nurse's station you could reach out and touch it. And I was like, why is that? They said, it's to keep an eye on you. I'm like, why? You think I'm gonna jump off the roof or something? I can't even go up the stairs yet. So rehab started coming in and helping me. Really nice Jewish guy. I called him the Jewish giant with the handlebar mustache. I still don't know why he thought that looked good, but anyway, somebody that still works there told me, nah, he got rid of it. I said, did he get rid of it because of me? I hope not, because it was unique for sure. And then he would push me in the wheelchair, and there was a whole thing where I had 3 different wheelchairs. It's a long story. No, I'm not rich. Finally got the right wheelchair, and then was pushing myself, and then I realized they would push it, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing this the wrong way. So I started letting them push me everywhere in there when I would need to go places and stuff. But I had to sit up in the wheelchair after being bedridden, and I want y'all to know that was painful. And I was like, wait a minute, since when does sitting up hurt? It was so painful. My back hurt, my butt hurt. I was like crying, tears. They coming to get me. They forgot about me in the cafeteria. They took me down there so I could get a different kind of food and everything. And I go in there and I'm like, please, I'm calling. Would you please come get me? So they had the staff wanting somebody else come get me. Then the rehab comes and goes, we forgot about you. No crap. You're not my friends anymore. Get away from me. The next day when they came to give me rehab, I was like, get out of here. Put you on America's Most Wanted for abandoning me. I had them in stitches. But it would buy me more time because I'll be like, guys, I need more time. I'm not even ready for you because I didn't want to wear this stupid gown they give you with your butt out. So I was like, no, I got to get dressed and that's going to take a minute. Well, we'll help you. There were men. And we'll get the nurse to help you, female. And I'm like, no, I want to do this myself because when I go home, I need to be able to do it myself. And so I worked towards those goals and I started getting better and getting stronger little by little. Before you know it, I could sit up for an hour. And I would text my mother, Mom, she'd be at work. Mom, guess what? What? I sat up for an hour in the chair. And I'd have them take a picture so I could prove it. And I sent it to my family. Guess what? I sat up for an hour. And I was like a little child all over again. Finally, I got strong enough for them to send me home. And man, they said, we're going to take you, Lisa, out to walk outside. I'm like, it's hot out there. I don't want to go out there. Yeah, we're going to walk outside. I'm like, y'all, crap. Vanilla melts in the snow too. I mean, in the heat. And you're Jewish and you're too chocolate. You shouldn't be out there. You're going to melt. We get out there in Beverly Hills. I can look across and see the Beverly Center. I can see all these Rodeo Drive and all that stuff. And I'm going, I got to get well so I can start visiting these places and going back to these places and going in there and going, what's the cheapest thing? I can't wait to go to Tiffany's and try it. What is the, come here, come here. What's the cheapest thing you have in there? This is the thing. People actually do this. I see them do it with Louis Vuitton. I see them do it with, what's that one? But something Bellage, something would it be? Bellissimo, one of them. Why does it always sound Italian? And so I said, I want to go in there and I want to give me the cheapest thing you got. What is it? I bet you can't get a box at Tiffany's for $5. I bet you can't. That pretty blue box with the white ribbon, I bet you they don't give them away. Can I get the bag? Can I get the bag? Did anybody think whatever I got in it, some jelly beans or something, came from Tiffany's? Anyway, I didn't know Tiffany sold jelly beans. They don't. I just dropped it in here. Don't tell Jordan. He'll be trying to get them. Because he don't discriminate. He don't care where the jelly beans come from. I thought he was a jelly bean snob and only got jelly bellies. Turns out that's not true. He'll eat any jelly bean, including one that drops on the ground, including one that is dog licks. I'm not kidding. I asked him, I said, let me ask you, if it fell on the floor, would you eat it? Would you pick it up and eat it yet? Would you rinse it off at least? No. Wow. Okay, so it fell on the floor. You're going to eat it at your house. If the dog got it and put it in his mouth, would you eat it? Would you fight him for it and get it out of his mouth? Some dogs will let you take it. So others will be like, don't you try it. Others will be like, yeah, you can have it. He was like, yeah, probably. I might have to think about it, but I'm like, you think about it, it's gone. And then by then the dog has worms because they're not supposed to have sugar. Ray Ray, I'm going to call you out. You're lying. And not like a rug. You're lying like a rug. Like an area rug. I saw that in a movie once. She said, I'm not rich. If you got a private room in one of these rehab centers, you're rich. And she has caregivers. They push her around. They take her to get pizza. They'll call her a cab or a long stretch cab, which is the ambulance. So technically, you're rich. Don't give me that. Oh, I got family texting me. I've been doing this stream for 3 hours. Is that right? I don't believe it. No, I haven't been on here 3 hours, 2 hours. That was the timer from the last time I had to go to the little girl's room. By the way, we were doing streams and then Jordan wouldn't turn off his mic. I'm like, dude, for real? You could be frying chicken. You can go take a shower. You can go around the block. You can pet the dog. Just do it with your mic on mute, please. So, going through this rehab and medical PTSD taught me a lot. And then I had to relearn what to eat. Do you know I had to do that whole food study thing? No, they don't even give degrees. They don't give you a cap and gown if you pass. I didn't get a certificate. I think that I got robbed. They did a food study. I didn't get credits for the class. The nurse comes in. She's a special nurse. They only do this. I'm like, they have jobs? People get paid to do this? You're coming in with graham crackers, applesauce, peaches, apple peaches, pumpkin pie. You're coming in with those things, and you get paid to give food to people and watch them eat it? I didn't even know that was a thing. But evidently, you have to have a degree for it. I had her in stitches too. I did. She was laughing. 'Cause I told her the same stuff. I said, hey, well, can you bring an apple pie tomorrow? Because they got me on this salt restricted diet and there was some foods I couldn't have. She said, yeah, I'll get you some apple pie. I think she cheated me though. She didn't show up the next day. But I ended up having to start with Toph, you're late. You are late. That's why I've been doing the stream this long. Because I was waiting for you to come in. Toph is late. I know you didn't know I was gonna do it, Toph. I didn't know I was gonna do it. So we're talking about medical PTSD and what I went through recently. And no, it wasn't because of Jordan or Ray Ray or Jay Shore or Jocelyn Anderson, who is now known as JA. Okay, for the record. So I'm eating this applesauce and I'm eating it because they gotta make sure you swallow it so that you don't choke. That's why you can't give babies certain things because they could choke. They said this is a choking hazard. You can't give it to Junior or Juniette. I ain't seen a baby yet that didn't like applesauce though. And I'm eating it. Okay. You passed that one. Now we're gonna give you some graham crackers and want to see if you can eat. Ooh, I haven't had a graham cracker in weeks. And I was like, this is just in the plastic with the little cellophane that they put in it. What is this the brand name graham cracker or is this the cheap stuff? And she goes, I don't know. The hospital provided. This is the cheap stuff. She started laughing. You got any more in that bag? Yeah. You want another one? Yeah. Well, let's see if you can eat this first one. Oh, I said, don't worry. I can eat it. Because, if you chew on graham crackers, they just get mushy and soft anyway. And I swallowed it and then I drank my water. And she's like, okay, let's going to move on to some tougher stuff tomorrow. I'm like, okay, you're bringing pizza. No. Well, what's going to be tougher than graham crackers and applesauce and pureed food? Because they had me on a feeding tube for almost all of that time that I was in that semi not coma state because of the blue dye. And I was like, this sucks. I don't want this no more. The nurse looked at me like I was crazy. I said, call whoever you have to call. Get me out of this feeding tube now. Well, Lisa, that's going to take some time. I want to hear that crap. Get me off of it. And the doctor would come in. I want to get off this feeding tube. Well, we'll see how you do the next one. No, no, no. You go be on this feeding tube for the next couple of days, doc. What's up with you? I want to get out of this crap. It took like 10 days for them to get me out. We missed you too, Toph. Is Toph short for like a big long name that you're embarrassed to use or couldn't squeeze on the graphics? Toph for Grace. I want to know. I got to know because Toph is unusual. You don't have the T capitalized. Is it a nickname? I don't care. I just want to know. I tease Ray Ray and Jay Shure and Mr. Nameless, which is Jordan. I tease them all the time, so you can take it. That's your name is Toph. Your name is Toph, but you didn't capitalize. I just want to know. I just want to know. I just want to know. Christopher. Got it. His name is Christopher. That's a beautiful name. Christopher. Doesn't that mean Christ-like also? Or does it mean that you're a person named Chris that's a topographer? Topography is a thing. Did you work for Google? Do you still work for Google? I just want to know. So then after I got off the feeding tube and got to the puree and did the food test, then I got the little lady that I love. She was the food service worker at Cedar Sinai Medical Center. Treated me like royalty because my mother had been there 36 years. Everybody knew my mother. Everybody knew my mother. Oh, yes, Barbara. Oh, yes. I'm like, well, does that score me some points? And what do you want? What do you want? Oh, honey, let me give you a list. I don't want you to have to try to memorize all of this. They have hot, warm cookies at Cedars that are the bomb. You know, you go to these other places and you buy a cookie, they're not warm. It's just sitting there. It's just a cookie. I don't care if it's gourmet, it's just a cookie. They bring it to you at Cedars, and this is anybody who orders it. Anybody in the hospital can get it if you're not on a restricted diet. And they hadn't put it in the computer yet that I could have anything I wanted. They put that in there, but they didn't put in the orders that I was on a restricted diet. So I got the cookie. Chocolate chip, hot cookie in the package. It would come warm. They would walk it up to me special. I'm not making it up because the kitchen was just across the hall. I found out later. So when I would order a cookie, they'd be like, oh, they just came out the oven. They'd be like, Lisa, it's going to be 10 minutes. Okay, great. They bring it over. I pull out the package. It's hot, like it came out the oven. Delicious. And I was losing weight because I hardly could eat anything because my stomach had shrank. That's the thing. When you don't eat for long periods of time, your stomach shrinks. And if you don't overeat and you stop when you get full, it stays small. And I lost all kinds of weight and was eating whatever I wanted. Mac and cheese, but I was only eating like 2 tablespoons. I'd be like, can you add bacon to that? It's a Jewish hospital. They don't. Let me see. We got turkey bacon. I tried it. Turkey bacon's nasty. I was like, no, no. I want real, full fat, oink, oink bacon. so So my mother would bring me some, and then I found out they had this pre-cooked bacon that you could order. So I'd order it, and my mother would get it, and she'd bring it, and it'd be in a nice little warm container. And when you put it with the hot mac and cheese, it would still be warm. And I was eating, but again, 2 or 3 tablespoons, so I was losing weight because it wasn't a lot of food. And I could get any soda I wanted, just about. They only have two at the hospital, diet and regular ginger ale. And I think they had Coke. Like, is this a conspiracy or what? What you got against Pepsi? What you got against Sprite? Anyway, I would get the sodas. I would get my family to bring me stuff, and I couldn't drink much of it. And I couldn't eat much of it, so I was still losing weight. Literally peeing out buckets of fat, really, because my urine would. I could see the canister, and they had me on a female catheter. Yes, that's a thing. And I had to learn about that, and then I wanted that out of me. I'm like, I'm tired of this crap. So everything was a progression of getting better. And I was say, I don't want it no more. And I stopped using that. And then I sat up, throw the feet over the edge of bed, went to put my feet down, and I was like, oh my God. And they're like, we don't have a walker for you, Lisa. We have to go order it, and you got to get the doctor to get it and all this crap. I'm like, but I want to get out of this friggin' bed. So I started throwing my legs over anyway. They'd come in and I'd be sitting up on the edge of bed, holding on to the side of the bed, looking like I'm gonna fall, looking like I was in a car accident and got pushed into the corner. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm holding on to the bed so I don't fall. My back wasn't strong enough yet. And it would hurt and I didn't care. I'd be crying. They're like, are you okay? You want some pain meds? No. No pain, no gain. Yes, there's songs about it. So I should get the t-shirt. No pain, no gain. And I just kept going. And then they had this guy that was from rehab. For some strange reason in the hospital there, this particular hospital, they only had rehab 2 days a week. I'm like, I'm here 7. What the heck am I going to do with 2 days? And then they're only coming in for 20 minutes. Like, you can get a lot done in that time. I'm like, oh, whatever. Can I get a trapeze? And I think in that hospital, I never did actually get the trapeze on my first visit. My second visit, I did. Anyway, some of it's a blur. So, he comes in and he's built, he's muscle bound. And he's eating. And I'm like, why, dude, I see you in the hallway sometimes go down past my door and you're eating now, but you got all these muscles. How are you doing all this eating, but you got muscles? And he laughed. I said, "Are you married?" I kind of was asking myself because he was handsome and he was muscle bound. I've always liked muscles anyway. He started choking on the apple. Said they're gonna send you for a food swallowing test. So he helped me get over to this what they call a cardiac chair. And that's where they sit you up, and it does have legs that pop out on it, like a recliner, but it's not comfortable at all. But it has hard handles on it, so you can push yourself up to slide to get in it and get out of it and get a. Ugh, I didn't like that chair, but I wanted it. They finally got it for me. I get in this chair and I go to get in it and I bend my knee backwards the wrong way. I mean, your knee bends that way, but I bent it too far and all my weight came down on it. And he was by himself and like this one other nurse who couldn't lift a 20-pound bag if she tried. And they're trying to get me back up to get me in this chair or get me back to the bed, one or the other. I said, "Why don't y'all just lay me out on the floor?" No, 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 we don't want to do that. While they're holding me up and I'm in pain, I'm going, "But look, I'll just say I fell and it wasn't your fault. I tried to do it by myself." Anyway, they managed to get me back in the chair and I'm crying, tears coming down because it hurts so bad. And the rehab guy, he goes, "Well, this might be a good thing though, Lisa, because you needed to stretch that leg and you needed to bend it back. But now we got to get you back in this bed." I said, "Well, the thing is on casters and so is this chair. It's on casters. So let's roll one or the other or both so I can get as close to that bed as possible to climb my butt back in it." Long story short, they get me back up in the bed. They had to help me get my legs back up in the bed. Then I'd have to catch my breath, and I was on oxygen. Then they'd have to turn me, and then I'd have to adjust the. Oh, it was a mess. And all of that, by the time that 20 minutes, I was just felt like I was never getting any rest because I'd be exhausted. And then I'd just pass out and go to sleep from the pain and the exhaustion. But little by little, it was getting better. And then the doctors came in, the doctors, and they would be like, "Oh, we want you to take this, that, and the other. Nope, 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 nope. But you need, nope. Well, we're afraid you're going to, nope. But you're not letting me, nope. I don't care. I don't want to take that poison. Call me non-compliant, put it in the chart, and get out of my room." So some of the stuff that I did take made me sick as a dog, messed up my stomach. Then I had to figure out, was it the meds or was it the food? Well, it wasn't the food. It was the meds. So then I was like, "No, y'all messing up my food. I got people bringing me food, bringing me cookies. Are you nuts? You better get on out of here. I ain't taking that." So then it was time to go back to the rehab center for the second time after the other surgery. The first one was explorative to see if I needed a stent. Thank the Lord I did not. I did not want that, and I didn't have to get it. And then I go back to the rehab, and I had to make further progress. And the Jewish rehab guy with the handlebar mustache, the Jewish pirate, he says, "We're going to take you up a flight of stairs. That's going to be your goal. We're going to get you to this commode chair. Excuse me, so we can get you ready to go home." Now, the reason they got me ready for stairs was because my house has stairs. And so they were like, "We have to get you to be able to go up that stairs." And I'm like, "No, I don't never go up the stairs. I've been up the stairs in 5 years in my own house." And they were like, "Oh, no, no, that's not going to work. We're going to fix that." So they got me to go up the stairs, grab that grab handle, hold on, breathe, stand up. We practiced in the rehab training area. They had these stairs where you go up 1, 2, 3, stop, go up the platform, it's flat, and then you go down the other side. Or you could turn around and come back down. It was up to them. And they'd have the wheelchair right there for you. So they said, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, let's go do those stairs because I can't do these concrete ones yet. Y'all crazy." So we did it. started doing it. But first I started out on parallel bars. That was interesting, and I did it. Took 3 steps, I think, the first time. And then I had to catch my breath, and he said, come on, you can do more. Rehab is always pushing you to do more. A pox be upon them. At times I felt like saying that because it was extremely painful walking on my feet. My feet were just dead. They were dead. I have no other way to describe it. The trapeze that I ended up getting helped me with my upper body strength. So I ended up being able to hold myself up. And then they got me a walker and said, look, practice with this and see if you can stand up. Because if you can stand up with the walker, you can do the parallel bars. And I said, okay. So I started doing that, going from my bed to the closet, which was only about 3 feet, and put my nose toward the closet and lean back. And they had me practicing squeezing my bottom and all kind of stuff that helped with your leg muscles and stuff. And I didn't know. I thought all this was crazy. I'm like, you guys just, you got a camera somewhere. You're punking me, right? No, no, this is gonna help you. And then the supervisors would come in and see my progress and say, you're doing really good, Lisa. Come to find out, I was like 2 years ahead of what it takes the average person to do. This is what they told me. I'm not saying that to give glory to myself. I'm saying that to give glory to God. Because He's the one I believe helped me get up. I had a dream one night. I was in there and I dreamt that I woke up from, that I was sleeping the dream. And that I woke up, threw my legs over, got out of bed, put my slippers on, walked to the bathroom, went to the bathroom, came back humming and singing and kind of skipping a little bit before I realized I had just went to the bathroom. Now this was the dream. Now I'm able to get up and go to the bathroom by myself and come back, which is no small feat because I have to go at least 4 or 5 times in the night because my body is still dumping fluid. So I get up, I'll grab my cane at times, but other times I just carry it over my arm and I'm not even using it for balance or for weight bearing. I got my driver's license squared away finally. Only took 2.5 years. Long story, I'm not going there right now. The whole production behind that. Imagine being bedridden and trying to get your driver's license. Yeah, that was me. My aunt was like, are you crazy? You're laying up in the bed. You don't need a driver's license. I gotta get it. I want to drive again. Not letting it go by the wayside. It's mine and I want it. I paid the money and I want it. Well, I got it now. Wait, I got my temporary and I'm waiting on my permanent with real ID. ChatGPT messed me up. No, not ChatGPT. The DMV's chat AI garbage messed me up so many times trying to get an appointment, trying to get the test and all that, but finally got it squared away. Now I gotta ask y'all for a favor, and no, it's not money. I gotta go to the little girl's room, so what I'm gonna do is put this mic on mute, and I can't put up anything for y'all. I can't play no music. They won't let me do anything because I don't have the full features yet here on StreamYard. So I'm just going to put this on mute, and I'll be back in about 3 shakes of a horse's tail. I think that's the thing. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. I'm back. Isn't that a thing? Oh no, that was Terminator. I'll be back. I should have said that when I left. I'm back. Now, where was I? Somebody's trying to send me money. What God promises He is able to perform. So glad you're live streaming again. Yes, that's the truth. Amen. Thank you. Now I know I can do it. I got to get back. I got to go finish reading the Septuagint, which was, what is it? I was on, I don't remember what book. I think it was Proverbs. No, it was Psalms. Oh my God, why did I pick Psalms? Long as Psalms is, I should have had my head examined. Psalms is long. Okay. So I picked the time in the morning over here where the house is quiet. And now my aunt is up and she likes to sing and dance. So I don't know what's going to happen. So if I go on mute and you don't hear anything, that's what happened. You need to read it, J.A. It's amazing. The differences in the Greek compared to what the Masoretes wrote is astonishing in many of the texts. I think you'll find it very illuminating. But because they changed the name of Jesus. The name of Jesus is in the Septuagint, by the way. And I don't mean no funny bunny name. I mean Jesus. I used to wonder about that when I was a teenager and stuff, and I was reading that. Where's Jesus' name in the Old Covenant? I didn't understand it. Well, the Masoretes took it out. Did you hear me? I ain't even talking to JA on this one. I mean, I am, but I'm not. They took it out. Them devils. They hated the Lord. They hated Jesus. They hated the Father. They played with his word. They took it out. And I was like, oh, see, I knew it. Jesus is in the Old Covenant in the Septuagint. Ain't that something? What a beautiful thing. From everlasting to everlasting. He said, I am the Lord. I change not. Another passage of scripture, he says, I am the Lord. That is my name. This will be my name forever. Who is the Lord? Jesus Christ is Lord. Did you know that when I was laying up there in that hospital and they couldn't get me to say but a few things, that was one of the things I kept saying? It just came out of my spirit. They'd be like, what's your name, Lisa? What's your mom's name, Barbara? Where are you? Oh, Cedar Sinai Medical Center. And then I'd be like, Jesus is Lord. Just right out of my spirit. My sister heard me, my sister-in-law, my mom. They're like, why you keep saying it? I would just get into it. I don't know if it was because I was in pain. Sometimes I was afraid because I'd be in there all by myself. And I would just say, Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. And then I started saying other things like Jesus is the healer. Jesus is the rock of my salvation. And I would just start saying all those different things. And I'd sing all those songs that we learned if you went to Sunday school. And it got me through. That's right. Jesus said that, J.A. Jesus said, you believe in Moses. He wrote him. He said, you believe in Moses. He said, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go, did he go? Yes, he did. I will, that's declarative, come again and receive you unto myself. That where I am, there you may be also. Where is he? Seated at the right hand of the Father. Everybody thinks we ain't going up. They're full of crap. Preterism. I love you. I love you if you're a preterist. The Bible is true. It did not all happen 2,000 years ago or 3,000 or whatever timetable y'all got. Because I've seen people with so many different charts. I just like forget it. I see somebody with a chart. I get PTSD. I get chart disturbed. I'm like, no, not a chart, not another one. It's going to be what the Lord said it's going to be. It's the book of the revelation of who? Jesus Christ. Reveal day. Don't let them trans people steal that. The LGBTXYZ LMNOP garbage. Y'all better wake up and repent. Jesus is coming and he gonna judge it. And you better not be on the wrong side. You have your struggle to the day you die. You better be on his side and he better be on yours. He's gonna judge it. That whole reveal day crap. Ooh, that used to get on my nerves. Snapping their finger, drag queens talking about reveal day. Shameful. The Bible talks about that it's a shame what these people are doing. Some things is unmentionable and unspeakable. What they doing now, it's not even in secret. This is how you know we in the last day. They not even hiding it. Do you know we just had that gay pride rally thing out here? It was so hot, hardly anybody showed up in one of them. One of them they had to cancel. It was around the country they have gay pride rallies, not just here. One of them they had to cancel because it was so hot. People didn't show up. The vendors and everything, they came. It's too hot. I said, good, thank you, Lord. Turn up the heat. That junk. People need to repent. They're going to hell. People don't want to talk about hell, and they always say, "Oh, don't talk about hell." Why? Hell is mentioned by Jesus more than anybody else in the Bible. Paul didn't even talk about hell, and he wrote most of the New Testament. Why? Because he was writing to believers, and believers were never in danger of hell. But Jesus is warning his people. Now, his people are supposed to be following the law. So why is he telling them and warning them about hellfire? Remember the rich man, and I still say to this day, that was a true account, and the Lord was testifying that he saw it. The rich man lifted up his eyes from hell and pleaded with Father Abraham and said, please send somebody back, send Lazarus back, so that he can testify about how terrible this place is, that I'm tormented in these flames. We better speak about hell. We better warn the lost that it's real and that it's hot and that it's never ending. Conscious, eternal torment. I don't apologize. Yes, I believe that's real. And I believe Jesus showed it with that parable. People act like because it was a parable, it couldn't be true. I'm like, every parable Jesus talked about was true because it was all within the realm of possibilities. With God, everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. So when you hear him talk about a parable, it was something that was real. They all act like parables were fiction. No, fiction is what man created. God didn't create fiction. He don't deal in fiction. He is the truth. We can read fiction. We can use fiction as an example, and I don't think God has a problem with it, but he don't deal in fiction. Because fiction is lies, like that Skyen story I was talking about earlier. I'm glad you agree with me, J.A. The rich man and Lazarus' true account. Jesus never used personal names in parables. Thank you for pointing that out. Very astute of you. Are you still in school? I know you're so many years young, but are you still in school? Stay in school, y'all, so you don't end up stupid. The rich man, even though he didn't give his name, he did mention Lazarus and also Abraham in that parable. And he didn't use fiction or falsities when he was talking about things. They were for our benefit and our edification and for us to learn from and grow from and warn others. But getting back to them gay pride rallies, they had one out here somewhere in California. And they had such nastiness going on that the media couldn't show it. And this was in public. Some of it I caught, they just nasty with them G-strings and them straps and them spikes and stuff that come from bondage. Yeah, because y'all in bondage. They showing you they in bondage. Why are you wearing stuff that represents bondage, bind, torture, sex garbage? You in bondage, that's why you showing it. They wear handcuffs because they're showing you they in bondage. They wear uh what is that thing when you have somebody on a leash? A person on a leash, like a dog. That's because you're in bondage around their neck, demonstrating it. And they think that's freedom. No, no, see, you got it upside down. Every now and then there'll be a street preacher out there trying to preach to them, but you're taking your life in your hands when you go out there because the people who are supposed to be about love and acceptance will do violence against you if you say it's sin and that they need to repent and they need to come out of it. They need to get saved. Let Jesus wash them in his blood. They will get violent. Oh, but I thought y'all was about love. Love is love. Then you point it out to them, they get even more hateful, and you'll hear the hiss of the serpent. Do you know I saw years ago somebody at one of them things? They went into one of them tattoo parlors they got out there, another place of death and bondage, and had their tongue cut. It wasn't even just pierced. They split their tongue in two so they could be like their father, the serpent. They didn't even know they was doing that. They thought it was just them going to the height of heights. They had done all these tattoos. There wasn't even a place on their body that hadn't been tattoos. Maybe just the sole of their feet and the palms of their hands hadn't been tattooed. Everything else on their body had been tattooed. They had piercings galore. And they were like, I'm going to do something else because I can't do anything else. The head was shaved. They had tattoos all over their head, piercings in their eyebrows and everything else. Cut their tongue down the middle. It was one of the nastiest, grossest, freakiest things I ever saw in my life. On camera, unashamed. But we supposed to be ashamed of Christ. The devil is a liar. I finally ordered that t-shirt. I did, for real. I'm not even making a joke. I ordered a t-shirt that said the devil is a liar. It's black with white letters. Think it's going to stand out? Think I'm going to get some people looking at me funny when I wear that one? Yep, I think so. I go to church, they'll say amen. The devil is a liar. They'll say it back to me. But out in the world, they'll look at you like, the devil ain't even real, would you? The witches will look at you with that evil eye because they know he's real. She says she's learned. Jade says she's still learning until Jesus takes her home. Amen. Well, let's hope that's not for a while because heaven can wait. Did you know that was a movie? They probably got a song for it. They had a soundtrack, so I guess they got a song for it. Heaven can wait with Warren Beatty. You remember that? You're telling on yourself if you know, Jocelyn. If you know, you're dating yourself. You're telling how old you are. I was a child when I saw it. I'm not making it up. I was a child. He had on gray sweats and it was wings that came out of his back like an angel. And he was looking down at something in his hand. Now, I cannot remember what that was. I want to say it was a cell phone, but I just don't remember what he had in his hand. He was looking down at like people do today, where they just walking and looking down, don't even look up and be bumping into stuff. And I always thought that was a peculiar movie poster. I'm not going to pull it up right now because I'll end the stream if I do. It'll mess everything up. But he was looking down at something, and in the movie, the premise is heaven made a mistake, and accidentally he got killed. I think it was a car accident. He walked out in the street, and a car hit him and killed him. And his body got cremated before heaven found out and could put a stop to it. So they couldn't put him back in his own body. So he had to come back in somebody else's body. Get out of here. This is all their occultic stuff. from the Talmud and the Zohar, Zohan, and what's the other one? Kabbalah. This is all their stuff. And so then he has to come back and they put him back in a body. And Ned Beatty is the one that's the actor. They put him back in the body. They've done this in movie after movie after movie where they're switching bodies and switching consciousness and all that. That's them. That's their religion. That's their occult beliefs. That's why I call it Hollywood. Because when we're watching their movies, we're being indoctrinated if we're not careful. We're being exposed to those beliefs and those spirits. Oh, I talked about that before. I didn't say you're evil. I'm telling you what's happening. That's why when you hear a song, they actually call it an earworm. When you can't get the song out of your head, it's because they put witchcraft on the songs to make you constantly think about it so you would go buy it. And more importantly, listen to it to get their indoctrination. What's the other thing? The other thing that they do in movies when they don't do the song is the scenes will be a visual nuisance that you can't get out of your head because they put witchcraft on it to make it stay in your mind. That's why I hate some of these commercials and stuff because they'll play something and it's very seductive and sensual. And you didn't even want to see it. You were sitting there, you were watching the news or something, and they flashed this commercial and somebody's scantily clad, barely dressed, butt shaking, all that crap. You didn't want to see it, and then you can't get it out of your mind. And it could be the scene for one of these Hollywood movies or something, and it's dark and it's occultic and it's cryptic and it's gory, and they're doing all that in the commercials now in prime time, middle of the morning. I had to file a couple of complaints with the FCC. I said, that's not supposed to happen. I think one of the excuses they were using is children are in school, so they're not watching it. I said, what about the children that are homeschooled? Yeah, No, there's FCC regs that they're violating when they're doing this stuff. And don't let it be at night. There's a certain time at night, like 9 o'clock, I think it is. They think most of the children are in bed, so they will play certain things. And they start getting creepier and more demonic and dark. And I'm like, oh no. I got two remotes. I got one sits on the table in front of me, one on the other side, and I'll flare up and I'll turn the TV off if I can't get the volume and look away or turn it off. I'll turn my head, hit the volume on mute. I don't want to see that garbage. This is one thing I pointed out, and I was on a podcast with Jordan, and I talked about this, how the men of God and women of God were never lewd. They were never nasty. They were never sexual. They were never sexy. Paul warned against being sensuous. We are not to be sensual. And when they're doing that, it's because that attracts spirits. So you never saw that from the men of God, ever. That's how I know when somebody's connected to Christ, because they won't do it. Do you know I have been around men that were not born again that were very respectful? When I was in the rehab center, there would be times that they would need to come in, and remember, it was a shared room, so they'd have to go to help the other person in the next bed, but you might be on the commode chair, and they walk in, they knock on the door, but then, oops, there's your butt out, you're on the commode. And they'd be, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And they wouldn't look. They would look away, turn their head the other way and go. And these aren't even people who are regenerated. And they got more sense than these demons that put this stuff out on these commercials. There are some things that are just not appropriate. Another thing that gets on my bananas, makes my Funyun angry, is the sanitary napkin commercials for women. When I was growing up, they would only use blue to simulate a woman's cycle. These devils are using red in these commercials. I'm like, y'all nasty. You're nasty, and we need to complain. We need to say something. You call the FCC. They have a toll-free number. They have a main direct dial number, and file a complaint. You can go online, and you can say the name of the channel, the time of day, and they'll look it up. And if they find out they were violated, they will fine them or sanction them. They'll take action. But we don't do anything. We just let it roll. The Lord told us we were supposed to occupy till He comes, and that means we don't give up ground once it's gained. We keep it. Hold on one second. We're supposed to keep doing the things that we need to do to not lose any ground for Christ, and to call out the devil when we see him. I see you, Satan, and you ain't gonna prevail. You might win the battle, but you are not gonna win the war. You already lost, according to the book of Revelation of Jesus Christ and other places. Satan roams the earth. He's here. He's not up in the heavens. Jesus said, I beheld Satan fall like lightning. He's here. I think that crater they're always showing people trying to claim it was a meteor or something. I think that's where Satan fell. I think, bam, that's where his butt hit the ground. Do you know they've showed it in movies? They've showed him. Flash Gordon, that is symbolizing Satan with the lightning bolt on his chest. They do it over and over again. The Joker is a symbol for Satan. Well, they get a load of me. Didn't the Joker kill people? Wasn't he evil? Didn't he kill people and laugh about it? That's the devil. So this is the stuff that I'm talking about when I say this, and then people will go, you're a fun snatcher. No, I'm not a fun snatcher. I like to have as much fun as anybody else, but we need to let people know this is in the earth. The devil is motivating these things, causing it. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I know somebody that works in Hollywood or used to work in Hollywood, and they said it was true. So I got a witness. And that is that they said that every single horror movie, every single one, someone who has worked on that film or been in the film died. Do you know that? Do you know that that's true? Don't believe me, look it up. Poltergeist, for one, the one with the little girl lays her hands on the TV and says, they're here. She wasn't lying. The image of the beast is through that television. And some of the biggest places in the religious movies and religious channels, don't get me started. PureFlix ain't pure. A lot of demonic garbage on PureFlix because they have false constructs that are not biblical, like the one that they did with the supposedly visiting with the Lord, where God comes down and sits with them on a plane and sits with them in a cafeteria and answers all their questions. That's blasphemous. No sinful man can depict Christ like the chosen. You are looking at a sinful man. He has no right trying to depict the living God who is sinless. See? Then people get mad. Christians get mad. I'm going to take my ball and bat and go home. Okay, well, don't trip on your way. The truth is the truth. Now, would I watch The Chosen? If I could stomach it, I would watch one episode. And I haven't been able to make it through with Jonathan Room. I haven't, and it doesn't matter, him or anybody else. The Greatest Story Ever Told, any of those anymore. I can't watch them because I know I'm looking at a sinful man trying to depict Christ, and that's not my Lord. He has no sin. He knew no sin, but was made sin for us. Figure that one out. So all of these different things, Hollywood has its job to do, and it's doing it. The music industry, it's a business. All of it's a business. They have a job to do. They're doing it. Commissioned by the devil himself. But over him, the good news, over the devil himself, is King Jesus. The devil got to look at Jesus and go, can I do this? And the Lord shake his head, no, you can't. And then he go, okay. So just remember that. God is in control, the one true and living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the devil's on a short leash. You don't like it when you tell that, but it's true. So I'm going to stream in a few. How many of you put up scriptures? I think it was like 10 people here in one time, which for me is a crowd. You did good. So put a scripture on. Give me another scripture. Jocelyn was the only one who was obedient. Yes, it was nice. It's nice. And I'll put your scripture up, or maybe you, I don't know, have something else you want to put up. Favorite saying that's biblical. I'll put it up for you before we close out. Hold on. Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing else and nobody is going to say anything else or post anything else, then I'm going to close out the stream. I thank all of you for joining me this morning. I made it 3 hours. I wanted to see if I could do it again because we were averaging about 3 hours on our podcast when we didn't go super long. So it looks like I can sit up that long and do this. And I appreciate all of you for listening. And please send me any emails if you have any commentary you'd like to add. Or if I missed something or I said something that wasn't factually correct, I always like to correct myself. Thank you very much. I love you all. Blessings in Jesus' mighty name. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday wherever you are in the earth. Bye for now.